A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the coverage of Los Alamitos racing on a Sunday night as we present 8 races on a fast track, highlighted by the Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge. Here is a check of the program changes. First post is 7:10. Race 1 opens the $1 early double, the $1 early pick 4, and the $1 place pick all. No changes to report. Race 2. Corrected weight for number 4, 122 pounds. Then add a 2-pound overweight. So Ortega will ride She's a Gemini Jewel at 124. The rider of number 5, Fire Isle, Henry Lopez. Henry Lopez riding number 5. Race 3 is the first leg of the $2 pick 6, with the pool seeded at $10,000, courtesy of Los Alamitos. Number 3 carries 3 pounds over. Race 4 is the first half of the $1 mid-card double. Number 6, Greg the Great, has been scratched. Scratch number 6 from race 4. The 5th opens the $1 late pick 4. Number 7, Clipper R, first time Lasix. First time Lasix for number 7. In the 6th race, scratch number 3, Roborando. Number 3 comes out of the 6th race. The 7th, first half of the $1 late double, scratch 4, Val Bambi. Number 4 is scratched, no show wagering. And race 8, the feature, all clear.
Welcome into a Sunday edition of racing here at Los Alamitos Racecourse as we get ready for the first opening event. About 19 minutes away, a race on the program here. Jose Contreras alongside Ulysses Gomez. How we doing?
Doing good on a Sunday evening where we have a California Regional Distaff Challenge, 400 yards, and that's going to be led by AJ Flawless and CM Jessa Blue Monday. I love that race as a finale. The pick six was hit last night to the tune of over $84,000. So tonight it will be seated with $10,000. That starts in race number 3.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one to begin. And, of course, the distance challenge will be a distaff challenge. Will be a field of 9, competitive field of 9 there in the finale. Let's take a quick glance here at the entire program. Race number 1 will be a 1,000-yard event for the thoroughbreds, field of 6. And right now the money's showing up on 2 runners, the 1 and the 4. The 4, We Salute You, coming in now, joining the barn of Jesus Uranga.
And Doug O'Neill sending in the 1, Poly Purebred. Island on the 2, Furia. I like that effort. 2 back. I thought that horse broke well and chased a tough field. Now drops into the 62.50 maiden claiming ranks. I think I'll give her a legit excuse. Last time, I think she was just outclassed. I think now finding friends, 5-1 currently.
The 1, Poly Purebred, was only about a length and a quarter off of a 22-2 opening quarter last time out. And given that there's not a ton of whole speed in this spot, I think Payeras is going to try to be aggressive from the rail for the barn of Doug O'Neill. So I'll give the 1 the top pick. I'll go 1, 2, 4 there for the top 3 picks in the opener. Race number 2, 4.5 furlongs, conditional claiming tag of $5,000. Got a field of 5. I think it's a difficult race. I think if you dig far enough in the form, you can build a case for all 5 of those runners.
I agree with you. They have similar running lines. With that said, I'll go to the outside. Fire Isle. It's going to be a new rider, though. Adrian Escobedo is off, goes to Henry Lopez. So Henry Lopez will pick up the 5, Fire Isle, in race number 2. That's where I land, looking for back-to-back victories.
I went with who I think is going to be on the lead, Okri Gal, the 2. That's the top pick. I'm not in love with anybody opening up 4 or 5 and then wiring them. But if anybody's going to do it, it's likely going to be Okri Gal. But if it's not her, I don't have a clear second choice. So the 2 is the top pick. but no strong opinion there.
I think this race is wide open, but you do get the benefit of the 5-pound apprentice, Salvador Vargas, carrying lighter weight than the other horses.
Race number 3 will be the first leg of tonight's pick six. New pool, fresh pool there with the pool getting taken down last night to the tune of over $84,000. Race number 3, seeded pool of 10,000. The race goes through cultural, the 8. But is it as easy as just cultural and that's it?
I don't think so because it's drawn to the outside, and I see another horse that has similar speed in Autism Puzzle, Salvador Vargas. If Autism Puzzle could go with Cultural down that backside, make it difficult for him, I think around the turn he'll have that inside track, and hopefully Autism Puzzle can kick on and upset Cultural, your 7-5 favorite, to start off the pick 6.
It's a toss-up between those two for me, but if you're thinking outside the box and thinking maybe of a horse that could stalk and then finish, Papa Tiger is an intriguing 15-1 money line shot. I don't think he's going to be that on the final odds, but I thought his win was not only look good on paper, but look good visually. And I think Papa Tiger might be a good stalker to make that move at the top of the stretch at odds of 15-1.
I'd give him a look as well, just because you're going to get that pace stool up front. Francisco Monroy has been riding good as of late. And Papa Tiger, keep your eye on this horse at the gate. Has some antics at the gate, so keep your eye on Papa Tiger leading to the gate.
Just like last night's pick 6 that began in race 3, we talked that race 3 could be the one that provide an upset. Race number 3 could provide the upset tonight.
I agree. I think that's a good way to start the pick 6, and that'll lead us to the closing leg of the pick 4. Maiden claimers, fillies, and mares. The bottom level, 3,500, going 4.5 furlongs. Big scratch. Scratch is 6. Greg the Great going to leave us with the field of 5.
Not only is a key scratch because there's going to be a player, but it was going to be one of the speed horses. So this 6 being out really opens up the lead for whoever wants to take it. Who takes it?
I'm going to rely on how it is. You're pressing a 21-4 opening quarter at Del Mar on July 26th, just a week ago. I think how it is has enough speed. Just a question mark of first time at this 4.5 furlong distance. How's she going to handle the turn, and can she carry that speed to the wire?
She's going to get bet regardless of what we think about her level in this spot. But I'm giving a second look to OMG, who ran for the first time at this nighttime oval last time out back in July, 11th of July. And although it was a semi-flat effort, not really being a threat, it was a straight maiden event. Now you drop to the bottom, you join the new barn, you take the call for the top rider for the barn. If we're going to see an improved effort for OMG, it has to be tonight.
I agree with you, but just like the second race, this 5-horse field is wide open here in race number 4.
It is. Race number 5 started the late pick 4, thoroughbreds, 4.5 furlongs, maiden claiming of 3,500. 7 entered to go. Morning night favorite is Tony's Fever. He's an 0-for-12 maiden. Can he turn it around and get that diploma?
I think this is the spot. You've been sitting on a win with back-to-back second-place finishes. Last time effort just ran away from him when you were 30 cents on the dollar. I think this is a spot for Tony's Fever to get it done. But then you look at Bail Me Out Patty and Wild King. Look to have similar speed. If they get out there and duel it out and take the path of Tony's Fever, I think Tony's Fever is going to have trouble winning this race.
Wild King to me looks interesting because that one finally woke up with a better effort. It was the bottom. He stays at the bottom. But if he improves just a bit, anything, on what he did on July 19th, he should be right there for a major threat. So Wild King, the top pick for me, 5-3-6 in race number 5.
I agree with you with Wild King. Race number 6, another 1,000-yard event. These are $12,500 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. Scratch Rob Rondo, 7-2 morning line. I thought Robert Rondo was going to take some money. I land to the outside on a horse that has been ultra consistent. Summer Hayes, 6 starts, 2 victories, 3 second-place finishes, 1 third-place finish. Has yet to finish out of the trifecta. I see a similar effort. Second off of a slight layoff. Had been out for 2.5 months. Came back to a second-place finish on June 27th, going 5/8 of a mile during the daytime oval. Back here at night, going 1,000 yards. I see Summer Hayes controlling this race.
Good news is that I also like Summer Hayes. The bad news is that we both like Summer Hayes. So, Sheldon, if you're listening, we might be jinxing you. Both of us landed on your 5-year-old gelding. Outside draw is key for this spot because even if you're not sharp enough, because there's speed on the 1, 2, and even the 5, you got a spot to work out the trip. So I would tab Summer Hayes as the top pick. Silver Cross will be my second choice from the rail. You got the rail, you got a little speed. You can get away cleanly enough from that inside draw.
What do we make of Winning Lover? Edgar Payeras had been riding Summer Hayes the last 3 outs, 2 of those being victories. He opts to go to Winning Lover. Normally I follow the rider, but not in this situation. I like Summer Hayes.
Yeah, it's going to be a good way to begin the late pick three. So 6-1-5 for me in that race number 6. Race number 7, no show wagering. Field of 4 with the scratch of Val Bambi. Nuclear Arsenal, who just ran third in the Ed Burke, returns and is a 4-5 morning line favorite.
How low do you think the odds are going to drop on Nuclear Arsenal? I'm going to try to beat him because I think Nuclear Arsenal is probably will go 1-5,
Yeah.
maybe 2-5. Give me Test Pilot with the outside draw. Last time Test Pilot was drawn a little further out, 2 back, got a nice victory. Been drawn to the rail, doesn't really appreciate the rail, now gets out to the outside. I think Test Pilot could take full advantage.
Yeah, Nuclear Arsenal, the 350 yards gives them a little bit of a room to not be the fastest out of the gate and then finish. But there's some lightly raced runners in the spot that can step it up and try to steal it out of the gate. But the distance, I think, is going to be the ultimate equalizer for Ultimate Arsenal, who should be a heavy public choice in race number 7. Will likely be the single in 95% of the place pick alls, 90% of the pick sixes, and probably same percentage in the pick 4 as well.
I agree with you. I think everyone's seeing that as a free bingo square. That leads to the finale, Jose, the Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge. Over $30,000 on the line. 9 fillies and mares line up to go the 400-yard distance.
400 yards for the Regional Distaff Challenge. AJ Flawless, the 7, is 2-1 on Ed Burgart's morning line. She just finished third in the Abigail Kuwana Nakoa. Who finished second in that race? Bold and Beautiful, who won last night's featured event.
And that's why AJ Flawless is going to get the favoritism. But I'm going to land on a horse right next to her. CM Just a Blue Monday. Broke through the gate last time out. Just did not fire her best effort. Look at 2 back in the Los Alamitos Oaks. Just ahead off of Beautiful. We know the resume on Beautiful. Now in this spot, you're drawn next to AJ Flawless. Give me CM Just a Blue Monday for Luke Lindsay and Randy Dickerson.
400 yards makes that race, in my opinion, very interesting, very competitive. I like the 5 VGK Sigfield Follies. She ran about as good as you can do without winning last time out. It was an Adan Farias exacta, but our friends ended up winning that night. I like where she's drawn. She's in between Jesse's Flying Cowgirl, who's not the best breaker consistently, and maybe that allows VGK Sigfield Follies to get out of a clean break and have a path to run. And I think if she gets out with him, she's not one that just completely fades. She likes to put up a pretty good battle. So I like the 5 at 6-1 in the finale, but the race does go through AJ Flawless based on the consistent recent form.
And you spoke of Butter Off Friends beating VGK Sigfield Follies. She was on the rail last time out in that allowance event. She's back on the rail today. Ricardo Ramirez is going to take over in the irons for Adan Farias.
Speaking of Juana Laman and Bold and Beautiful, Ohana Spirit to me is a sneaky long shot. She's got, when she gets out in good order, she's got numbers that fit this race. The problem is,
I agree with
she
you.
doesn't always break well.
And she's coming off of second start off of a 5-month layoff. I agree with you. Keep an eye on Ohana Spirit, 8-1 morning line in the finale.
That is a quick glance at the entire 8-race program here tonight, concluding with the Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge. That will be a 400-yard event later on tonight. We're 8 minutes to post time for the opener. We'll check in with Mike Warner shortly to introduce the post parade for race number 1.
The jockeys are mounting for the first at 1,000 yards. This is a maiden claiming event for fillies and mares 3 and up. Opening the $1 early double, the $1 early pick 4, and the $1 place pick all. Number 1 is Polly Purebred, owned by Edmund Regan II, trained by Doug O'Neill and ridden by Edgar Pieris. Number 2, Furia, is owned and trained by Jimmy Glenn Jr. and ridden by Cesar Ortega. 3, Vashon, one of a pair owned by Rosamund Barclay and trained by Gloria Haley. The rider is Salvador Vargas. Number 4, We Salute You, is owned and trained by Jesus Uranga, piloted by Ricardo Ramirez. 5, Idiot Straits, for owner-trainer Alberto Ruvalcaba. Francisco Monroy occupies the saddle. Number 6, Cote Blanc, is the second entrant for Barclay and Haley. The mount goes to Francisco Orduña Rojas.
Four minutes away here from the opener on this Sunday night program at Los Alamitos Race Course. Race number 1 begins the dollar pick 4, and of course the dollar place pick all, which, by the way, last night's early pick 4, over $1,000.
That place pick all, that pool always hovers around that $20,000
Yep.
mark. One of the funnest bets in horse racing. Dollar base will get you action on all 8 of the races. The horse you pick just has to run first or
That's
second.
it.
Jose, do you see any free squares in that place
Sounds
pick
so
all?
simple. I see 3 free squares. How about that?
That's it. That's all we
3
need.
free squares.
Hit me with them right now. 3 free squares.
Yeah, it's going to be in races 3, 4, and 7. 3, 4, and 7. 8, 3, 7 in that, 8, 3, 2 in that order. But we'll talk about those horses a little bit more in depth here. The opener begins the pick 4 as well. I ranked this race 1, 2, 4. The 1's a top pick, Poly Purebred. You get Payeras up over here with Doug O'Neill. There's not a ton of speed in this race. And given
No.
the hustling abilities of Edgar Payeras, you have to believe Poly Purebred shouldn't be far off of it.
He's got to go. Edgar Payeras is already on the rail. He's got to go. He's got to hold that path. I landed on the 2 Furia. If you look at that race 2 back, Furia got out of the gate in front of everybody, and then her ears came up, didn't really know what was going on. Last time out, she was just overmatched. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
Now drops into the 6250 level. I think Furia is fast enough not only to keep up with Poly Purebred, but to take Poly Purebred's path. So I'm expecting Cesar Ortega to be just as aggressive as you're expecting Edgar Payeras. I'm expecting Furia to just go as fast as he can out of the gate and take that path from the 1 Poly Purebred. That probably might set it up for a horse like We Salute You. You're even money favorite, the 4, who can come from off the pace, who can stalk. Ricardo Ramirez is going to be aboard as Edgar Payeras opts to ride Poly Purebred.
You know, just looking at the top board, you know who's colder than I thought is Cote Blanc. I didn't expect to see the 6 beat 15-1. This double-digit odds there. You can see the pick 4 ticket on my screen there, 1, 2, 4. And I pressed the all button in race number 2. That second event, we were glancing at it, and it's, to me, if it's not Oak Creek Gal the 2, it could be anyone. So I ended up buying that event in the second race. But I think the betting public has the right horses favored here in this opener. It's got to go to the 1, 2, and 4.
I agree with you. And then race number 3 is going to lead to one of your singles that you just spoke of in that place pick call. That is the 8 Cultural, and you're going to close out the early pick 4 with another single in race number 4. So that's going to be another of the singles that you expect in the place pick call.
If it's not Culture in race number 3, then it really opens up the race. Because we both think All Things Impossible is the next logical spot. And then I gave you Papa Tiger as an intriguing long shot if there's a little bit of a pace meltdown there. But in race number 4, the closeout look at that pick 4, I think the betting favorite's going to be How Is It? I'm going to try to beat that favorite with OMG, who I think will likely be the third betting choice in every wager. And I'm just banking that you're dropping from the straight maiden ranks to the bottom while getting Ramirez for Iranga. There's got to be a wake-up effort tonight for the 3. If it's not tonight, then I'm fine getting beat by the 1 or the 4 there.
I agree with you. This is the bottom level MG. First time in the barn of Jesus Uranga and finding bottom level, just trying to look for friends to find some success. That's your closeout of the early pick 4. Single is what you're going to close it out.
So those 2 are, to me, the free squares also in the place we call. And then we talked about Nuclear Arsenal being the other one.
Correct.
Right?
Nuclear Arsenal in race number 7 looks to be a free square.
If that one gets beat,
in many tickets.
Yeah. So
I like Test Pilot from that outside draw. I'm going to try to beat Nuclear Arsenal because I think Nuclear Arsenal is probably going to go off 1 to 5.
well, yeah. So you pop the gate and try to steal it.
The only way to make money. And then you have Justine Claver and Mike Castleman right next to Nuclear Arsenal. You see what she's been doing out of the gate. She's been beating the blocks, beating these boys out of the gate. She's going to try to do it again in race number 7. She had a good weekend last weekend on Sunday, Cal Breeders' Stakes night. Her and Mike Castleman connected for a couple victories. They're trying to do it in race number 7 here tonight.
The entire premise of that pick 4 to me lands essentially. It's instead of a $15 win bet on OMG, it's a $15 pick 4, because 1, 2, 4 here. I bought race 2, and then race 3 is Cultural. So essentially, instead of a $15 win bet on OMG, then that's how the pick 4 is getting bet.
I like your angle. That's the way you're going to have to make some money if you're betting these favorites. You're not going to make any money on the win side, so you're trying to cover a couple of these races so you can catch a price.
3 to 1 is probably better than you expected, right? As win odds on the 2.
Yeah, I'll take the 3 to 1. That's my top selection. I think Furia has enough gas not only to take the path of Poly Purebred, but maybe catch a bit of a breather around the turn as well. I'm hoping Cesar Ortega is aggressive out of the gate. Just go as fast as you can, as far as you can. This is a field of maidens. You see the running lines on these horses. They don't pass other runners. You look at them. Once they're there in the spot they're in, they're just going to play chase. They're just going to go around there. So Cesar Ortega has to be aggressive. Main objective for the 2, take the path of the 1. Get to the rail and make sure that you're in front to give your horse a bit of a breather around the turn.
And also, we talked about it. When you get to these maiden levels, some of these are just pack animals. They just want to run with the pack. They don't want to go by you. So even if you can just make the lead, it puts some doubt in their minds.
That's exactly what you want to do. You look at this form as a rider, whichever horse you're on, you're trying to get the most speed out of them as possible. I think Furia has some speed. You know Edgar Payeras and Poly Purebred are going to be aggressive because you're already down on the rail. You don't want your path taken. And now you look down at the form. Vachon actually made the lead 2 back on May 24th. Couldn't hold on to it. That's another horse that's going to go, which puts the 2 Furia in a more difficult situation if you can't get that head in front. So you got to go. We Salute You might be able to get the trip, but hopefully you're far enough in front so We Salute You doesn't get to you before you get to the wire.
Let's revisit that pick 4 there, $15 investment. And those race number 3 begins the pick 6, so single for me to begin the pick 6 as well. You want to get involved with the pick 6 opportunity. George is going to single the 4 in race number 4. That will be How Is It for Edward Freeman, Edgar Payeras. And Chris Wade doesn't have any singles here. By the way, shout out to Chris Wade. Had a big pick 4 hit last weekend. Commas,
yeah, he hit that early pick 4 last weekend. That was Commas, so that's his ticket there on the screen, $36 investment. You have a $15 investment with single to start off the pick 6. If you were going to play the pick 6, would you start it the same way as your pick 4,
and
or would you try to get coverage?
Same way. And then you have Nuclear Arsenal as another single. You got 3 legs down, spread in the other 3. Coverage.
And I suggest you spread in the finale. I think the finale is going to be fun. I suggest you have coverage there to close out the card. That's going to be the California Regional Distaff Challenge, 400 yards, over $30,000 on the line. That's going to be a fun way to close out our Sunday card.
By the way, what a great duel we got from Bold and Beautiful and Scoops Dynasty last night.
I'm hoping we get another duel tonight because I could see that finale, a blanket finish with 3 or 4 horses on the wire together.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And last night, I mean, Bold and Beautiful actually lost the lead mid-race to Scoops Dynasty and responded and got the victory going 440 yards. They're going to go 400 yards tonight. I could see a blanket finish in our finale.
By the way, and if you're just tuning in and watching from the pan shot, you would have never noticed that. We noticed that because we got the drone capabilities here at Los Alamitos. They're at the gate for the opener. Pick 4 pool over 121,000. Let's go out to Michael Runner for the call.
Thanks so much, Jose and Ulysses. Pick 4 pool approaching 125,000 as they get set for the opener. And we salute you. Number 4 is into 6 to 5. 5 to 2 for numbers 1 and 2, Polly Purebred and Furia. Racing. We Salute You and Idiot Straits with Vashon win the start as a threesome, followed into stride by Furia. Polly Purebred's 4 lengths off the early pace. Cote Blanc on the outside. Vashon wins the race onto the main track. From We Salute You and Furia, the rail seems to be open for Furia, but that horse is hard pressed and not staying in touch with Vashon. Vashon in front of We Salute You with a quarter mile to go by 1 length. Furia now 2 lengths away third, 1 length to Cote Blanc, Idiot Straits. And Polly Purebred is tailing off 4 lengths away, 10 from the front. At the top of the lane, Vashon holding the lead from We Salute You. Furia on the inside is third, 16th pole. Vashon still the leader. We Salute You trying hard, but Vashon is safely holding We Salute You and takes the opener by a length. Furia third most of the way. Idiot Straits fourth just in advance of Cote Blanc, well clear of Polly Purebred who failed to fire. It's number 3, Vashon, the unofficial winner. Beating 4, We Salute You, and 2, Furia, with number 5, Idiot Straits, finishing 4th. The first race was hand-timed in 53.20. Vashon is the official winner of race 1, a 3-year-old bay filly by Northern Causeway from the Roi Charmant mare Slew's Charm, bred in California and raced by Rosamond Barclay, trained by Gloria Haley, and ridden by Salvador Vargas, who returned from injury last weekend. Great to see Salvador Vargas back in the winner's circle. Placings officially 3, 4, 2, 5. Again, the race was hand-timed. $1 exacta, $21.40. $1 trifecta, $56.80. The 10-cent superfecta, $17.12. Race 2 comes up at 7:36. Henry Lopez rides number 5, Fire Isle. Lopez on number 5. Corrected weight for number 4, 122. Then add a 2-pound overweight. So she's a Gemini Jewel, carries 124. There is exacta, quinella, trifecta, and pick 3 wagering on race 2.
Well, it only takes one price to help out the pick 4 sequence, and we got it right immediately in race number 1. Vashon pulled it up to 6-1. And we talked about it. If you can handicap who's likely to grab the lead here, you'll likely want to put a bet on that runner because they're maidens. And once they grab the lead, they don't want to pass you. They're pack animals. Vashon grabbed the lead and took them all the way.
Just don't know how to pass horses. Vashon, completely overlooked. Started the career with 3 consecutive third-place finishes. I think had a legit excuse when bumped last time, finishing 5th. Today, Salvador Vargas is able to get this horse out of the gate in good order and not look back.
Yeah, good speed from the get-go, and everybody was chasing. Let's still go back and take a look at the replay for that opener. Vashon was in gate number 3, and from the beginning, it looked like a fairly clean break. The 6th spoke a little sluggish, Cote Blanc. You can tell from the middle part of the gate that is Vashon with Salvador Vargas hustling to the lead, and it was, at that point, a one-horse race.
And you see, We Salute You actually won the break, but Vashon hustled into that spot, takes over the lead. Furia here, look at the body language of Cesar Ortega. He's sending her, and she's not really responding, while you see Salvador Vargas a lot calmer, going to give Vashon a little bit of a breather around the turn, and going to need it, because right at this point, We Salute You is trying to grind it out, trying to gain, trying to make up some ground, but just cannot, and Vashon is going to hold him off. 6-1 to start off this early pick 4.
Yeah, at this point, the 4, We Salute You, gave it a valiant try, too wide there, floating in and trying to get as close as possible to Vashon, but she found a little bit more, kept the task here in the stretch, and kept We Salute You at bay. So 6-1, and I feel like it's playing every bit of a 6-1 shot in the pick 4.
Sure is, because the 7-2 morning line was overlooked, goes up to 6-1. Here's that head-on, clear sailing for Vashon between horses, allows Salvador Vargas to send on in there, and once he finds his spot, he's able to reach up, grab a hold of Vashon, make sure he has a little bit left for the finish. But like we spoke of, these maidens, they don't know how to pass horses just yet. They're still lightly raced. They kind of follow their friends, and that's exactly what happens to We Salute You. Was grinding, trying to gain, just could not get past Vashon, as you see around the turn. Bit of right-hand encouragement by Salvador Vargas, and the horse responds and gets to the other end.
Anything you see from a few of the others that you will want to kind of keep an eye next time out?
I would like to see Furia on the outside. I don't think the rail was preferable. And We Salute You. Ricardo Ramirez is going to have to get a bit more aggressive, kind of teach this horse how to get to the front end early, because once again, these maidens don't really pass other horses. They just kind of follow, and that's the way it went in this first race. I could tell you, Jose, early pick 4 pool, over $179,000.
That's a great pool. 179 here. Congrats to owner breeder Rosamond Barclay, Gloria Haley, Salvador Vargas with Vashon. And Maiden No More pays $14.20 in the opener. Great pool here. And the early pick 4 at Los Alamitos, Vashon and Maiden No More in career start number 5. So 3, 4, 2, 5 officially in race number 1. We're 13 minutes away for race number 2.
The post parade for the second is led by number 1 Miss Michelada, owned and trained by Jairo Manascal, ridden by Ricardo Ramirez. Number 2 Oak Creek Gal is owned and trained by Felix Gonzalez. Salvador Vargas is up. 3 It is Written races for Joe Gibson and trainer Terry Eaton. They share ownership. Edgar Payeras gets the call. Jose Rodales is the owner-trainer of number 4. She's a Gemini Jewel. Cesar Ortega is the rider. Number 5, Fire Isle, has a new jockey, Henry Lopez, for owner-trainer Troy Dial. 8 minutes to post for this 4.5 furlong thoroughbred condition claimer for fillies and mares 3 and up.
Race number 2, just 5 minutes away here from the second event. Thoroughbreds going 4.5 furlongs. Conditional claim tag of $5,000. Right now, the money is showing up on Eden. It is written for Terry Eden, Edgar Payeras. Class drop is significant, so we expected this one was going to take money.
Yeah, we expected this horse to take money with the class drop, but the running lines are similar in all 5 of these fillies and mares. I landed to the outside in Fire Isle with the new rider of Henry Lopez, looking for back-to-back victories. Got a nice score from off the pace at the $3,500 level, jumps up to the $5,000 level, while you have horses on run at the inside that are dropping in class. But I like the success. 2 of the last 4 races have been victories for Fire Isle.
Yeah, and I think the post will allow Fire Isle to likely work out a similar trip, right? Stay within striking range, stay out in the clear, don't run into traffic, and try to mow them down late.
That's what's expected, but you have a horse in Oak Creek Gal, the 2, with Salvador Vargas aboard. He was able to get the victory on Vashon in the opener. He's going to try to do the same here with Oak Creek Gal and try to go gate to wire.
Yeah, Oak Creek Gal, I think, is likely going to be the main speed threat of the race, and if she gets the lead, then at that point, I'm okay with taking my chances here. It is written. She broke the main and immediately beat winners, and then she was in spots where she was 44-1. You draw a line through a race. Ran third at 5-1, fourth at 23-1. So you can also make the case that It Is Written has been in spots where she's been overmatched. The class drop should help, but I'm not so sure I would take 6-5.
The class drop is going to help. I don't like the 6-5 either, but this is a horse that might be able to be a little closer to the pace now with this type of field. Usually when you drop them down, they look a little faster, and you get the benefit of Edgar Payeras coming back aboard. Edgar Payeras got the 2 victories with It Is Written late last summer back in August. So he's back aboard. You're going to see a bit more of an aggressive ride on It Is Written, and I expect to see It Is Written closer to the pace early, and with this field of friends dropping in class, she should be tougher.
The 4 on the screen, that is she's a Gemini Jewel. She was favored in the race that Fire Isle won, right? And then what did she do when she came back, got overlooked, and she won at 7-1?
I feel like everything has to go right for She's a Gemini Jewel. One of the few thoroughbreds that's going to be wearing the flipping halter. She's had it the last 2 outs, but I feel like everything has to go right in the sense of you got to get a pace duel in front because she's going to do her best running late.
Yeah, she was 5th in that field of 6 and then rolled in down late to win by half a length with a clock in of 54.11, which is decent for that level. And she was 7-1 and got the upset at an inflated price. I think if she's able to get on the outside of Fire Isle, she'll probably have an opportunity to show some of that late kick. But you're right, I'm in agreement. I feel like quite a few things have to go right for her because we expect speed from Oak Creek Gal. And if It Is Written in Fire Isle run their consistent efforts, not only does She's a Gemini Jewel going to have to improve, but likely run a new career best at that point.
And she's going to need these horses to come back to her. And by looking up and down this 5-horse field, it looks like Oak Creek Gal is the speed of the field. It Is Written will look faster because of the drop in class. But if Salvador Vargas gets Oak Creek Gal out of the gate in good order, he can be looking at a 2-length lead and not look back. He'll be able to settle just like he did in the opener. Probably be able to do it again. So it is crucial that Edgar Payeras is aggressive on It Is Written, and Henry Lopez taking over on Fire Isle has to be aggressive from that outside draw as well.
You know what? I want to check what the double whoopers are here because maybe it'll tell us to see if some of this win money is consistent with the double whoopers. Who's the favorite in the doubles?
The 2, Oak Creek Gal, 16 and change is to that dollar double, while to the 3 it is 23 and change.
Okay, so we suspect now the 2 is going to click down to favoritism. And
As soon as you said that.
Yeah, and the 2 is probably going to play like a clear favorite then, based on the doubles.
Yeah, as they're walking to the gate, I think the more win money is going to come into Oak Creek Gal, especially even for me. The more I look at this race, I'm trying to beat Oak Creek Gal, but it could be as simple as take him gate to wire once again. She's the quickest out of the gate. Salvador Vargas is going to look to just gate him and wire him, and he could. It is up to Edgar Payeras how aggressive he can be and how close he can keep It Is Written to Oak Creek Gal.
And Oak Creek Gal did have some time off, was off from May 24th until July 12th. And maybe a little bit sharper here this time around now with that start under her belt. So race number 2 does begin a new rolling pick 3, exacta trifecta, Quinella wagering also available. We suspected both the 3 were going to take money, but it appears the 2 is going to settle as the clear betting favorite. So I'll go 235 as my top three. Who's your top pick?
I like the 5, Fire Isle. I like the outside draw. I want Henry Lopez to be aggressive out of the gate. Get as close to Oak Creek Gal, if not in front of Oak Creek Gal, if possible.
A great early pick for our pool. Hopefully you're alive to the first leg with a nice 6-1 shot. Let's go out to Michael Rona for the call.
Entering the gate. She's a Gemini Jewel is the first to be positioned. Miss Michelada coming up. Here comes Oak Creek Gal, who's into even money with Salvador Vargas hunting the early double. It is written, will break from the middle stall in the 5-horse field. Fire Isle completing the line. 6-5, number 2, Oak Creek Gal. Set. Racing. Miss Michelada fast into stride with It Is Written, Oak Creek Gal, Fire Isle. She's a Gemini Jewel, drops back 3 lengths last. Oak Creek Gal takes the lead from Miss Michelada inside It Is Written and Fire Isle. A line of 3 chasing Oak Creek Gal to the 5/16ths. And they're about 4 lengths in front of She's a Gemini Jewel. Oak Creek Gal is the leader by 2 lengths, reaching the end of the back stretch. She will sweep into the turn, increasing the advantage to 4 lengths now. From Miss Michelada, It Is Written might have been lugging a little bit into the turn. Fire Isle perhaps inconvenienced on her outside, and there's plenty of room for She's a Gemini Jewel to scoot along the fence, and she's come from last into a joint second, but Oak Creek Gal has a 5-length lead. She's a Gemini Jewel finishing resolutely, but won't trouble Oak Creek Gal. Salvador Vargas lands the early double. She's a Gemini Jewel second. Miss Michelada was a distant third. And then either It Is Written or Fire Isle for the 4th spot. Number 2, Oak Creek Gal is the unofficial winner. Beating 4, She's a Gemini Jewel, and 1, Miss Michelada, with number 3, It Is Written finishing 4th. The time 51.64 seconds. The result is official. Placings officially 2-4-1-3. Oak Creek Gal is a 6-year-old dark bay or brown mare by Tom's Tribute from the Arch Dam birthday song. Bred in California by DP Racing. Owned and trained by Felix Gonzalez and giving Salvador Vargas the early double, which pays $16.90 for a dollar. $16.90 for the Salvador Vargas $1 double. Post time for race 3, 8 o'clock. This is the first leg of the $2 pick 6, with the pool seeded at $10,000 by Los Alamitos. Pick 6 scratches. In the fourth race, number 6, Greg the Great. Number 6 out of race 4. Then to the 6th race, scratch number 3, Rob Arando. Number 3 out of race 6. And in the 7th, put the pen through number 4, Val Bambi. Number 4 out of race 7. No jockey changes across the balance of the program.
How about Oak Creek Gal? Turn it into a one-horse race on the backstretch.
Deja vu, like the first race for Salvador Vargas, gets out to the front end, does not look back. Speed is the name of the game here. And looking up and down this 5-horse field, Oak Creek Gal was the fastest out of the gate, and sure enough, took full advantage of it.
Yeah, we did. We did say that this one likely was going to be the one grabbing the lead and taking them all the way. So Oak Creek Gal on the lead and turning it into a one-horse race. Let's go back and take a look at the start there of the race. 4.5 furlongs. Oak Creek Gal with a good break there from gate number 2. And at that point, it kind of seemed like, all right, who's going to try to keep up with this mare here? And once Salvador Vargas was able to open up 2 or 3 lengths, nobody really was within striking range.
And if you watch, didn't break in front, but within 3 strides, she's with the leaders contending, and right when they go past the gap with the half mile to run, she's in front by a length, and that's the key. She was able to settle. You see him looking over under his arm there, over his shoulder to see who's coming. Nobody's really gaining. You're a length in front. You steal another length going into the turn, and it's just a race for second place money at this point.
And one consistent form line in this event was the closing kick of She's a Gemini Jewel. She found herself last along the rail. She's going to close ground late there to be a clear second.
And overlooked in the betting board. 4-1 morning line goes off at 10-1 to round out a nice exact that you had a favorite that paid $3.80 to win. That dollar exact is going to come back over 11-1, $12.80 on that dollar exact at 2-4.
Yeah, and it never really looked like Oak Creek Gal was in danger of losing this race because based on the body languages here, everybody was all in from the get-go.
They're all sending, and Salvador Vargas looks awfully calm. Even on this head-on shot, you see the rider's body language. Their arms are moving, they're shipping, they're sending. Salvador Vargas is able to catch a bit of a breather. Looking over his shoulder, you know that only means one thing. I got plenty of horse. Who's coming behind me? And they're all just going to chase for second place money.
Yeah, and it took the corner fairly well. Just ducks in here, does the banking into the turn. At that point, you gain a little bit more momentum. Everybody's trying to accelerate. And when you're going too fast, you tend to drift there into the turn. I like the banking move that Vargas did to be able to corner that turn very well.
And now you're about 3 lengths in front, and everybody's just chasing. You got clear sailing. Pick up this horse's head, and Oak Creek Gal going to get to the other end. Felix Gonzalez, owner and trainer. Salvador Vargas sweeps the early double.
Es parte del show. Felix Gonzalez getting the win. Salvador Vargas, by the way, that's a $14 win in race number 1 and a $12 win in race number 2 to begin the place bet call and the pick 4 here tonight. Congrats to the connections of Oak Creek Gal, winners of race number 2. 15 minutes away from race number 3. That will begin tonight's pick 6 with a seated pool of $10,000. And we'll check in with Chris Way to talk about some of its plays for tonight's card. Yeah, I okay, okay, yeah, no worries. Sorry about that. I saw him over there and I thought he was waiting, so I was like, no worries. Next time I'll wait until you cue me.
Check, check, check. Well, tonight's pick six. We're going to give you a couple horses that we like. We're going to give you a bombs away play horse that you just really can't find on paper. That goes in race number five. It's my second choice. Obvious horse to be in that race is Wild King, the speed of the event. Very good effort last time. But Bucky's Boy is a horse you can't find on paper, but he's race two back off the layoff here at Los Alamitos running during the day. Did show some tactical speed going a distance of ground. Did tire. Then last time versus 12-5 claimer daytime rivals did have a little broke okay, kind of one pace throughout, but had a little run around the corner and down the lane. It was better than looked effort, but with everything factored in on my charts, this horse could get possibly a second over trip. And the barn can pop with a price. So race number five, my bombs away play. We had one last week. Bucky's Boy very well could be a factor down the lane at a big price here in tonight's fifth event in that pick six, kicking off the late pick four as well. The two Bucky's Boy. Another horse that figures to be triple tough tonight is race number seven, the obvious favorite, Nuclear Arsenal. This is a horse that run third in the Edward Million Futurity with a little bit of trouble along the way and earned a very impressive figure and definitely has a big look at the outcome with anything close to a decent start. Figures by on my charts like a 1773, and closest thing to him will be the Rail Runner and the five horse at like a 1785. So everything factored in, the drop in class, best number, figures triple tough to die there in tonight's seventh event. Be your obvious heavy favorite in the pick four and or the pick six, and definitely the horse to beat in tonight's seventh event. There, number two, Nuclear Arsenal for Paul Jones and company as you deserve it. Heavy favorite. Check, check, check. There's the pick six.
Ladies and gentlemen, a late scratch has come through in race number three. As you will note on the television monitors, number two, BDR Dragster, has been withdrawn. BDR Dragster number two is a late scratch, taken out just a minute or two ago. Race 3, a 4.5 furlong thoroughbred claiming event for 3-year-olds and up, is 8 minutes away, offering $1 pick 3 wagering and opening the $2 pick 6 with the pool seeded at $10,000 by Los Al. Number 1 is Running Tiger, owned by Elsie Mesa, trained by Jesus Uranga, ridden by Ricardo Ramirez. Number 2 is a late scratch, BDR Dragster number 2, coming out just a few minutes ago. 3, Voucher, is owned and trained by Angie Aquino, ridden by Jose Alcala. Number 4 is Could Be Gold. He's trained by Felix Gonzalez for Vernon Aguayo. Cesar Ortega is in the irons. Number 5, No Stranger to the Rain, is the first of a pair trained by Jorge Farias. This gelding is owned by Resendez Ranch, ridden by Francisco Orduna Rojas. Sylvia Soto owns number 6, Autism Puzzle. His trainer is Jorge Farias. Salvador Vargas is the rider. Papa Tiger number 7 is owned and trained by Jose Hernandez Sr., ridden by Francisco Monroy. Cultural number 8 for David and Jorge Landeros is conditioned by Sergio Morfin, ridden by Edgar Payeras. And Jorge Farias, in fact, trains a trio of runners in this race, including number 9, Hungry Hearts, for Ariel Moreno. The rider is Henry Lopez.
Race number 3, just 6 minutes away here to begin tonight's pick 6. Scratch of the 2 BDR Dragster scratched a couple of minutes ago, so a late change here with one of the biggest prices on the board. BDR Dragster is out. So the pick 6 begins right here. New pool, and it's a solid pool already brewing.
It sure is going to be over that $30,000 mark at the moment with 5 minutes to post. And we have a 1-2 favorite in Cultural. 7-5 morning line. This horse has speed, looks to be the speed of the field. Is it as easy as Cultural in now this 8-horse field?
I think so. We've seen speed do well already up to this point on the card. I think Cultural is likely going to be the horse to be on the lead and grab the lead and be difficult to run down. But if Cultural does not grab the lead, Autism Puzzle could be the one to apply pressure and be in the mix from the get-go.
I think so. I think Autism Puzzle and Salvador Vargas, looking for a hat trick here in the first 3 races, has to be aggressive out of the gate. You got to make sure you keep that rail path and don't let Cultural take over the rail from you. Cultural does have gas, as does Autism Puzzle. I think it's a race into the turn. I think it's as simple as that.
Yes.
Break it down, simplify it. Salvador Vargas has to go, make it a race to the turn. You've won the first 2 races in similar fashion. Do it again to try to win this 3rd race.
By the way, shout out to all our viewers watching on the YouTube or racing YouTube channel there for Los Alamitos Quarter Horse and live streaming each and every night. Shout out to everybody on the chat watching on YouTube. This specific event, you got the speed of Cultural, you got the speed of Autism Puzzle. I like the closing kick of Papa Tiger to be an intriguing long shot. Papa Tiger to me shouldn't be 15-1.
Keep an eye on Papa Tiger in post parade. This horse does have some antics going to the gate. 15-1. We spoke of this horse earlier. You thought this horse would get bet down. Currently, exactly the morning line of 15-1, looking for back-to-back victories. Running Tiger also going to be doing the best running late from that rail draw at 12-1. What do we make of Could Be Gold? Could Be Gold got the win last time out, was on the lead, dueling lost the lead, and then came back and won the race. Do we see a similar effort out of Could Be Gold? And is Could Be Gold fast enough to keep up with Cultural and Autism Puzzle?
It's interesting because he's broken first or second in the last 6 starts. So we know he tends to break well, and he likes to break well. When you compare the clocking, 51 and 2, it's about as good as you can compare to anybody in this race. The difference is, can he keep up with the others?
And in those last 6 outs, 3 of them were victories
Yeah.
and 2 of them were second place finishes. So could be Gold? Can this horse be fast enough? Another question I'm going to ask you is, how did Cesar Ortega land on Could Be Gold?
Correct.
While Henry Lopez lands on the outside, 15-1, Hungry Hearts.
Yes, I don't know.
Because Henry Lopez got the victory on Could Be Gold last time out, and 2 of the 3 career victories come under Henry Lopez, and it's for Uncle Felix. So that's a bit of a surprise to me. I think Could Be Gold at 11-1 deserves a look here to upset, because you're also drawn furthest to the inside of what seems to be the 3 speed horses. Could Be Gold, Autism Puzzle, and Cultural. So if Cesar Ortega can hold this path, I think it's going to be interesting for Autism Puzzle and Cultural having to now take a wider path to get past Could Be Gold.
And while we're handicapping humans, as far as riders, Henry landing on the 9, let's handicap more humans because Jorge Farias has 3 runners, right? The usual go-to rider lately has been Bautista, but he's not riding. 3 different riders on 3 different entries. Can we read any into that? Who could be the next rider up that could have chosen him out?
I don't know which one had the option between Francisco Orduña Rojas, Salvador Vargas, and Henry Lopez, but I'm looking up and down the form, and the consistency, the recent consistency goes to Autism Puzzle. So I'm going to guess that Salvador Vargas got the first call and going to get the 5 pounds here because it is a furlong race. So I'm going to say Salvador Vargas got the first choice, and he lands on Autism Puzzle, your current 7-2 second choice.
I can't remember the last time we had a rider sweep the first 3 races on the program. It probably was Payeras at some point in time.
It had to be during this 2026 season, maybe to close out 2025, that we last seen a rider sweep the first 3 legs. But that's the opportunity that Salvador Vargas has in front of him.
And with 3 different barns, right?
Yes, because in that opening leg, Salvador Vargas for Gloria Haley and Bashan, Salvador Vargas for Felix Gonzalez and Oak Creek Gal, and now Jorge Farias and Salvador Vargas hook up here in race number 3.
There's the pick 6 current pool. So new money 26 with the seated it's 36. So horse players supporting here at the program Los Alamitos, and we thank you for joining us here and supporting the pools. We got a tremendous early pick 4 pool, tremendous night of wagering pools last night with that double night pick 6 carryover.
And let's see if we could get this total pool over the $50,000 mark here in this pick 6 sequence as the horses are starting their walk back to the gate. Field of 8 with the scratch of the 2. This is a nice way to start the pick 6. Also a nice way to close it with the distaff coming up in race number 8. That stakes race is fun.
How many potential free squares are in this pick 6?
I'm going to go with
Nuclear Arsenal 1.
Nuclear Arsenal in race number 7. I think they see that as a free bingo square. You think in race number 4, OMG is a single to you. But I think you could go anywhere because that is a field of maiden fillies, bottom level maiden fillies. You don't know which one of those is going to show up. So I'm going to say the only potential single is Nuclear Arsenal in that 7th race. So it's a fun pick 6 sequence. The opening leg and the closing leg are the most intriguing to me because I feel like Cultural is going to be a single in many of these plays. But I don't know if Cultural can win if he doesn't make the lead.
That is the question.
Because he hasn't shown it. You look up and down the form. When this horse doesn't make the lead, he does not win. So Edgar Paella is going to have to be aggressive. And I think there's a couple horses in here that can contend with Cultural early. How is Cultural going to respond if he doesn't have that head in front?
Yeah, because there's enough speed to at least make it interesting in the opening stages. And if he blinks and doesn't want to get away from that pressure, then it's anybody's race.
And I've been on plenty of horses that if they don't make the lead, they fold. They do not like the pressure. They want to be out there in front. They want to be able to set the pace and get out there and take a bit of a breather. I don't see that happening for Cultural in this spot. How will he respond with that pressure on the front end?
I'm still going to say that if you're playing verticals or even horizontals and you want a long shot, I would give you Papa Tiger. To me, that is a long shot at 17-1 on the board.
Looking for back-to-back victories. One at this level, non-winners of 2 on the year. Now, in this spot, Looking for back-to-back victories and not getting any respect on the board. 17-1.
Pick six pool 41,000 and growing here on this Sunday night program. Let's go out to Macarona for the call.
Good on you, Jose. About to move into line. Papa Tiger's doing some schooling in gate 7 as Running Tiger and Autism Puzzle move in. Here's Voucher to post position 3. Papa Tiger's jockey, Francisco Monroy, has been out of the saddle. The horse remains in gate 7. Could be Gold links up. Cultural and No Stranger to the Rain. Monroy was about to mount Papa Tiger, but as soon as Papa Tiger sensed that, he started to act up. Hungry Hearts has moved in. Cultural, the 4-5 favourite, is going to load last, drawn 1 from the outside right next to the troublesome Papa Tiger, who was well behaved when scoring that upset win last start, but he's been back to some of his old antics tonight. Racing, Papa Tiger began cleanly enough. He's going back midfield, and it's Cultural and No Stranger to the Rain, the first two onto the main track. Hungry Hearts comes away third. Voucher was off better tonight, up running fourth, followed by Autism Puzzle. Running Tiger is 10 lengths off the speed on the inside of Could Be Gold, and then Papa Tiger. Cultural kicking away by 3 lengths with a quarter mile to go from No Stranger to the Rain. 3 more lengths to Hungry Hearts, joined by Autism Puzzle, who goes to third, and then Voucher on the outside, and Running Tiger follows the rail into the stretch, but had to steady. He was on the heels of Hungry Hearts at that point. Cultural leading to the 16th pole. Autism Puzzle running home solidly, but Cultural more than a length from Autism Puzzle. Cultural shortening stride. Oh, gee, it got close. Cultural with Autism Puzzle diving on the outside. It tightened right up. Running Tigers in a photo for third with Voucher. The time 51.67. Photo finish. I was all set to declare the favourite Cultural, who ended up even money. He had a good lead, but he got the staggers late, and Salvador Vargas, who's looking to sweep the first 3 races, has brought Autism Puzzle with giant strides on the outside. It's a photo finish to race number 3, the first leg of the pick 6. It's a dead heat. A dead heat, ladies and gentlemen, between number 6, Autism Puzzle, and number 8, Cultural. They will share the honours, with number 3, Voucher, finishing third, just in front of the unlucky Running Tiger, number 1. So there will be 2 winners' circle photos. Autism Puzzle being led back beneath Salvador Vargas. Again, Salvador just back a week or so from an injury-enforced layoff, and he has reeled off the first 3 on tonight's card. Autism Puzzle, a 5-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Gato del Oro from the Unusual Heat mare Starlight Style, was bred by Hanson's River Ranch in California. Autism Puzzle carries the Silvia Soto silks, the winning trainer Jorge Farias. The placings are officially a dead heat between 6 and 8, with number 3 third, number 1 fourth. The result now official. Cultural is on his way to have his picture taken. He is a 4-year-old bay gelding by Volatile from the Indian Charlie Dam. Let's Dance Charlie, bred in Kentucky by Kenneth Doyen, owned by David and Jorge Landeros, trained by Sergio Morfin, and ridden by Edgar Pieris. A host of exotic payouts with the dead heat. $1 exacta, 6-8, $5.20. The 8-6 exacta, $3.70. $1 trifecta, 683, $22.40. And it's a $14.80 return for the 863 trifecta. 10-cent superfecta, 6831, $5.86. And the superfecta, 8631, $5.29. Race 4, opening the $1 mid-card double, is set for 8.25. Scratch number 6, Greg the Great.
It was so close they could not separate him. A dead heat for the win in race number 3. We expected the speed of Cultural. We expected Autism Puzzle to be maybe a little bit closer, but they couldn't separate him at the wire.
Close enough in the end because they were noses on the wire. A dead heat in race number 3. Autism Puzzle surprised me that didn't have that early foot, but sure enough turned it on late to make it a dead heat in the end. Cultural had everything his own way the early part of the race and just barely holds on to a dead heat because Autism Puzzle was running on by.
Let's go back and take a look at the replay. By the way, that's a triple for Salvador Vargas with that dead heat. So 3 straight wins for him.
Sure is, as we pick him up at the break here. Look at Edgar Payeras on the 8, Cultural. Aggressive at the start. Going to make sure he gets to the front end. No stranger to the rain. Another Jorge Farias runner, as well as Hungry Hearts. They show more speed than Autism Puzzle. That is surprising to me. At this point, Autism Puzzle is sitting 5th on the outside, and it looks like Cultural has everything his own way, Jose.
Yeah, the 5 there, that is no stranger to the rain, trying to keep up and apply a little bit of pace pressure. And then you see Autism Puzzle making that 3 wide bid. And at this point in time, it looked like Cultural had enough of a big lead to kind of spurt away from them. But Autism Puzzle had to float out, 4 wide, almost 5 wide?
And that's because the stablemate drifts him out and no stranger to the rain. You see Autism Puzzle gaining, had to make up a length there in the last 50 yards. Watching it live, I thought Autism Puzzle got it, but right when they come to the wire, Cultural going to get that nose down and make it a dead heat.
Yeah, we see that that head on, and we did see that could be gold. The four bobbled, stumbled out at the start, broke inwards, and maybe that took away his A game. But the speed of Culture was, on display from the get go. Didn't wasn't really in any kind of a danger of not grabbing the lead. And right here, when you get into the turn, he took that turn so well that it just seems it was going to be difficult for anybody to make up any kind of ground.
And look at Autism Puzzle. At this point, you're fourth, about 4 lengths off of him. You're going to still have to circle because your stablemate is going to drift you even further wide. Look at as we pick it up on the head on there. The stablemate drifts Autism Puzzle further wide, still gaining, still digging, trying to run on by. Sure enough, going to make it a dead heat. All the momentum going to Autism Puzzle trying to get on by.
So a couple of exactas, couple of trifectas, couple of superfectas with a 6-8 dead heat up top. 3-1 to complete the third and fourth slots here in race number 3. Pick 6 pool there, total pool over $66,000.
$66,342 to be exact in that pick 6. Early pick 4 was a good pool as well, over 179,000. Good pools. Race number 4 going to close out that early pick 4.
Yeah, race number 4, closeout leg of the early pick 4 is 11 minutes away. We'll talk about those payouts and those will pays here coming up shortly.
Race 4 is a 4.5 furlong thoroughbred maiden claimer for fillies and mares 3 and up. Number 6, Greg the Great, has been scratched. Beauty Jenny leading them onto the track beneath Cesar Ortega. She's owned and trained by Angela Aquino. Number 2, Backstage Drama, is owned by Hector Castrillon, trained by Gennaro Vallejo, ridden by Francisco Orduna Rojas. 3, OMG, owned and trained by Jesus Oranga, partnered by Ricardo Ramirez. Number 4, How It Is owned and trained by Edward Freeman. Edgar Payeras has been engaged. Number 5, Regatta, is owned by Rosamond Barclay, trained by Jorge Bautista, ridden by Pedro Flores. This is the first half of the $1 mid-card double. The $1 pick threes roll on.
Five minutes away from race number 4, payoff leg of the early pick 4. By the way, great pool in the early pick 4. We're 179.
179,000 in the early pick 4. We have a field of 5 to close it out. Good pool in the pick 6 as well. Over $66,000 in the pick 6, and it starts with the dead heat. Here in race number 4, field of 5. Where do you land, Jose?
This is the race where I was taking a little bit of stand against what I thought was going to be the favorites. I thought 1 and 4 were going to take money, and I thought the third choice in the betting was going to be OMG. And I think the clash up is going to be a wake-up call, because if it's not here, where else are you going to show an improved effort? So I'm looking for OMG from post 3 to show a little bit more speed with this clash up.
I agree with you. I think this is the last chance, OMG. You're already at the bottom level. This is it. You got to show what you have here, and I like that the warm-up there. Ricardo Ramirez turns his horse loose, get it away from the pony, give it a good warm-up. I landed on How It Is on the simple fact that you're a length and a half off of a 21-4 opening quarter at Del Mar. That means you have some gas. With that said, is it enough gas to clear? I'm looking up and down the form, and I want to say it is, Jose. I think that is enough speed to clear out of the gate, because you're looking up and down the form. Beauty Jenny, the most experienced runner from that rail draw. The last time this horse tried this level was 3 lengths off of a 22-1 opening quarter. So I think How It Is has enough speed. Does she have enough speed to clear and hold on is the question. And she is a 6-5 favorite.
And also the question is there enough stamina? Because you can't deny this horse has been fading badly, beaten 18 lengths, 19 lengths, and 12 lengths.
Has completely
quit. That's
yes.
So there might be speed to open up, grab the lead. Is there enough speed to hold them off?
Well, that's why Edward Freeman comes to this spot, right? This is the bottom level. Because when you're quitting at that level, you got to find friends, and I think this is where to go, and that's why he's taking all the money at 7-5.
I think that's where the weakness is. Like you might be up 2-3 lengths heading into the turn. Is that margin going to be there when you hit the top of the stretch and into the lane?
I remember when I was riding, you see these type of horses, you just got to get as far out there as
Yeah.
you can. 'Cause
Don't
you
even
know-
don't worry about who's behind you.
Don't
Just
worry
go.
about anything. You just go because you know you're going to get what you're going to get out of this horse in the first 3/8 of a mile. You just hope you're far enough in front to hold on going 4.5 furlongs. 6-5. I could tell you, I'm looking at the pick 4 Will Pays Jose. Good pool, 179,000. It's going to come back just 45 to the 4, how it is. And then it jumps up. 191 to the 3 MG, 194 to the 1 Beauty Jenny.
What?
And if you're able to get the 2 Backstage Drama home or the 5 Regatta, over $1,500 is the payout in this pick 4.
You're telling me it jumps up that high from the 4 to even just the 1 and the 3?
4 times as much is what you're seeing here in the payouts.
Wow. And just as we said that, Beauty Jenny is the current 3-2 favorite. She's been knocking on the door, right? But this is more of a case of like, we kind of know what she is, right? Is any of those repeat efforts good enough to win here? Let's say the 4 does run and show speed, but there's a fading capability there.
Then it's Beauty Jenny's race to win. If how it is fading back, Beauty Jenny is going to run her down. What I would like to see is how close is Beauty Jenny going to be down that backside? She's got to be within striking range, which I'm saying is 3 lengths down that backside. If she's not within 3 lengths, it's going to be tough to run down how it is. Because, yes, going 5.5 and 6.5, how it is has completely stopped. But the first half mile of 46 and change, how it is at about 5 lengths off of them. That's a 47 and change half mile.
It's
Still going to be in
yeah.
front of that. It's that last 16.
Yeah, it's
how it is going to be coming back to the field.
That's where it's going to fall apart, I think. There's Regatta, by the way, on the screen. Regatta was reluctant to load in the first start, which was a debut, but she was 7-1. I mean, there's a 35 and change workout, a couple of workouts. We haven't seen the best of the 5, so keep your eye on the 5. We'll see how this one behaves in the gate. But a few others have to regress, and obviously this one has to greatly improve. But the 5 is not in a. Put it this way: if you had to put me to have to pick between 2 long shots, the 2 or the 5, I will pick the 5 because I think there's more upside there. There's more unknowns there.
And going to get the benefit of the outside draw once again, just like the debut.
With scratch of the 6, yes.
Yeah, the scratch of the 6. Now going to get the benefit of the outside draw once again. So, yeah, I expect Regatta to show a little more. Always do second-time starters, so I expect a little more. And, look, you spoke of the reluctant to load. Good job by the starter, Gary Brinson, and his crew. Schooling Regatta, she walks right in. They'll back her out and reload her again.
Top pick for me, OMG. Top pick for Elise is the 4, How It Is. They're at the gate for race number 4. Let's go out to Mike Corona for the call.
Beauty Jenny has come up to gate 1. Regatta already in the gate. Backstage Drama has moved forward. How It Is linking up. And OMG completing the line. 6-5, number 1, Beauty Jenny. 3-2 for number 4, How It Is. Now make it 4-5 for number 4, How It Is. Beauty Jenny number 1 up to 9-5. Racing. Beauty Jenny is away in a hurry. OMG showing plenty of speed. How It Is in the firing line. Regatta got away pretty well. Is within 2 lengths of the lead. At the back, Backstage Drama. It's How It Is heading to the front. 3/4 of a length. OMG. They put 3 lengths on Beauty Jenny and Regatta, followed by Backstage Drama. 7 lengths front to back. Heading into the turn, How It Is now rips away from OMG, leads by 2 lengths. A gap of 4 lengths, Beauty Jenny. Backstage Drama making some headway, getting past Regatta at the top of the lane. How It Is by 1 length. OMG's under very heavy pressure. The leader travels better. Beauty Jenny hugs the rail in third. A 16th left to go. How It Is clear. A couple of 3 lengths to OMG and Beauty Jenny. And How It Is going to score comfortably. 2.5 lengths over OMG Beauty Jenny. Clear of Backstage Drama and Regatta. The time 52.73 seconds. 4 is first. How It Is came into 2-5. OMG tried to make a run at the favourite, reaching the top of the stretch, but was under very heavy persuasion while doing so. And Payeras has controlled this most of the way on the 2 to 5 shot. How it is, who kicked away again in upper stretch. Number 3 second, OMG, with number 1 Beauty Jenny third. Fourth was 2 Backstage Drama. The result is official. Placings officially 4-3-1-2. The $1 early pick 4 has paid $45.80. 45.80. The winner, How It Is a Bay Filly 3 by listing from the Mineshaft Dam, albeit. Bred in California by Redham Racing, honed and trained by Edward Freeman and ridden by Edgar Payeras. 2 in a row for Edgar, who was on one of the dead heaters in the previous race. Cultural. With the $1 pick 3s, there is a consolation payout of $5 with number 2 in race 3, the late scratch in the third, BDR Dragster. And then there are 2 payoffs with the dead heat for the win in race 3. $6.90 and $3.50 with number 6 and number 8 respectively in that middle leg race 3, the dead heat. The 5th race coming up at 8:48 opens the $1 late pick 4. Number 7 Clipper R should be listed for Lasix. First time Lasix number 7. In the 6th race, scratch number 3 Roborando. Number 3 out of race 6. And in the 7th, scratch number 4 Val Bambi. Number 4 out of race 7. Race 8 clear.
The speed and favoritism of how it is was just too good for the rest of the field, and it came down the backstretch, Ulysses. It felt like there was going to be a test by OMG, but how it is found a little bit more.
Yeah, it just wasn't enough of a test. How it is was able to get that lead on the front end. Edgar Payeras was aggressive, and it's been the story of the night, right? 4 races in, we had that dead heat in race number 3 with the horse holding on to the lead with another one closing, but everything has been on the front end. Saw Salvador Vargas pull off the first 2 races to get to our fashion, and we see it again here. 4 races in, Salvador Vargas has won 2, dead heated with Edgar Payeras, and now Edgar Payeras wins race number 4. So 4 races in, 2 jockeys with all the action.
Let's take a look at the break here from the get-go for this maiden claiming event. A little bit of hesitation and off awkwardly for backstage drama the two, but it was immediately a little bit of a speed duel between OMG and How It Is. And once OMG was trying to keep up here with the 4, I thought it was going to be an interesting race to the turn.
I thought so, but once How It Is able to get in front, you see Ricardo Ramirez is going to have to concede the lead now because Edgar Payeras is going to take that rail draw. At this point, OMG is going to be tough to re-rally and get that momentum going, and it's just How It Is race to lose now. You're going to get a bit of a breather here. You see the body language. Edgar Payeras able to pick this horse's head up, make sure he cuts the corner. She cuts the corner now that she took the path of OMG, and now it's just a race to the wire. Once again, veteran move. Cuts the corner and then drifts back out toward the competition. Able to gonna sustain that speed and sustain that position. Able to get the victory by about 2.5 lengths.
I wonder if there's any claims. I didn't check here, but I'll confirm in just a moment when I can. But How It Is, the significant class drop was a key here. You get a little bit more confidence by grabbing the lead, and once you and the race was won down the backstretch when he was able to kind of put a little bit of pressure and force the 3 OMG to back off a little bit. That's where the race was won.
Yeah, you took the horse's path. You see the white silks of Ed Freeman there and Edgar Payeras going to take the path, and at this point, Ricardo Ramirez has to concede. He wants to go to the outside because he knows that Edgar Payeras is going to cut the corner around the turn, and then right here, once he feels the pressure on the outside, once again, he lets his filly drift out toward the competition. Nobody really making any ground. Beauty Jenny's on the inside, plugging away, trying, but not really gaining. How It Is, Edgar Payeras going to take race number 4.
Yeah, good win here with the class drop. Edgar Payeras, Ed Freeman, owner and trainer, bred by Red Racing LLC, and Payeras getting his second winner of the night. 4-3-1-2 officially in race number 4. 13 minutes away from race number 5. We'll talk about the late pick 4 coming up next.
Hey, welcome back to Los Alamitos, race number 5. Going to give out our tonight's late pick 4 selections. It's a $32 ticket in total. That being said, race number 5, kicking off, the horse to beat, in my opinion, will be the 5 Wild King for Angel Aquino's second time in her shed row. A very good effort to be second last time versus a well-met winner. Definitely looks to be the speed of the speed, and we'll be right there throughout. Has a big look as our top choice. Then our bombs away play, as noted earlier, for our pick 6 selections. Bucky's Boy, this is a horse who has more ability than shown on paper. Doesn't look all that much on paper, but in facing good company for Robert Lucas and company, and is better than shown, and with everything factored in, trouble and track variant, has a look at the outcome and is taking some early attention up on the board. So Bucky's Boy, my price look there, kicking off tonight's late pick 4 as our second choice in tonight's fifth event. Well, race number 6, under a thoroughbred event, scratches free of Robondo. Top choice will be the horse of the outside, Summer Hayes. This horse pretty good to be second last time versus a good group of $8,000 claimers running during the day and earned a pretty good figure with everything factored in. It's had a good trip and finished well down the lane. Earned a pretty good figure for Sheldon Pados as our top choice. The one Silver Cross had some speed last time against a solid group of 20 claimers, non-winners, 2 other than. And did tire steady down the lane, but the horse is much better than the race indicates and has looked to be near the lead throughout in the dropping class. Should enhance the horse's chances as our second choice. The 2 winning number will be our third number for Van Belvoir. Won well, had a good trip last time, earned a good figure. Then a bombs away, play with a scratch over the 3. We'll use a 5 Toulouse Detrac as our fourth number for George Frias, who has done well and popped with some prices along the way as our fourth number. Race number 7 as our best bet on the racing card, Nuclear Arsenal. This horse did run a very good third in the Edinburgh Million Futurity and ran a very good race versus good company, earned a very good figure. Figures like 1773 on my chart with a drop in allowance event. Big Look here is our top choice and best bet in the racing card for the pick 4 is our single. Then closing out the show is a very closely matched Cox Ranch Southern California Distaff Challenge. Willow 7 is our top choice. Second number, Ohana Spirit, will be our price look in the 6. CM Jessup Blue Bunny, much better than the race indicates. And the 1, But Our Friends likes that rail. Won well last time, will be our fourth number to close out our $32 late pick 4. Good luck.
Good on you, Chris. Jockeys are mounting now for race 5. First leg of the $1 late pick 4. It's a 4.5 furlong thoroughbred maiden claimer for 3-year-olds and up. Number 1, Dancing with Circa, is owned by M&J Ranch, trained by Jesus Ramos, and ridden by Francisco Monroy. Number 2, Bucky's Boy, is owned and trained by Robert Lucas, accompanied by Damien Cruz. Number 3, Tony's Fever, just moving onto the track. He's owned by Stuart Sugimoto, trained by Chuck Treese, ridden by Ricardo Ramirez. Preceding him in the post parade is number 4, Bail Me Out Patty, owned by Sergio Gonzalez, trained by Felix Gonzalez and ridden by Henry Lopez. Back to number 5, Wild King, trained by Angela Aquino for BG Stables. Cesar Ortega gets the call. 6, Rusty Boy, is owned by Jaime Morfin, trained by Sergio Morfin, ridden by Pedro Flores. And 7, Clipper R, is the second Felix Gonzalez trainee. He's owned jointly by George Robichaud and Kathleen Perry. Salvador Vargas rides Clipper R, who is first-time Lasix. That notation is missing from the program. First-time Lasix for number 7.
Welcome back here, late pick four time. Thank you to Chris Wade for analyzing this pick four sequence and giving some of his opinions here for the late pick four. It begins with a 4.5 furlong maiden claiming event, purse of 3,500. Got a field of 7, and right now Wild King is a slight 9-5 favorite.
This horse was at this level last out, finished second, missing by 3/4. Was actually passed by Gold Proof when missing by 3/4 of a length. You have Bail Me Out Patty, and watching these horses impose, Bail Me Out Patty might look like the fastest one in the race out of the gate, and this horse looks good, making the third career start.
Only 3 starts, only third career lifetime start. I think there's obvious improvement that could happen there. You get a class dropper as well, so a lot of things going in the case of Bail Me Out Patty. Having said that, are you surprised this one is 7-2? Because I am. I feel like the money was going to show up there instead of the 5.
I agree with you. I thought they'd at least be vying for favoritism, but no, the 5 Wild King taking all the money, 6-5, and that is your single in that late pick 4. You're singling here and singling in race number 7, but I'm with you. I thought Bail Me Out Patty would take more money because this horse is coming from the straight maiden ranks into the $3,500 claiming ranks.
Yeah, that's what I assume so as well. George Duarte, our Equate chart caller, he's singling Wild King as well, so we're both in agreement there. Chris Wade has Wild King as his top pick, but he's doubling up with a price. He's liking the 2 Bucky's Boy.
That's a surprise to me. I know Bucky's Boy has been facing Tougher, but hasn't showed much speed against Tougher. Tried this 1,000-yard distance to close out 2025 and just chased every step of the way. So that's a surprise to me. 6-1 is getting played. That's half of the 12-1 morning line.
It is. It's. I mean, you can build a case for Tony's Fever, Bail Me Out Patty, Wild King, even Rusty Boy. I know he's floating up to 8-1, but if you compare his 4.5 furlong events from earlier in the year, you're seeing a little bit of a form that could kind of find himself within striking range. Race number 6, which is the second leg of this pick 4, I bought it, Ulysses. That 6th event, I'll be lying to you if I really liked anyone in that spot. So I bought it there in that field of 5 with the scratch of the 3.
And that is a tough $12,500 claiming event. They all have similar running lines, and then you get a horse like Toulouse to track the 5 who hasn't been seen at this 1,000-yard distance. What do you make of that runner? Winning Lover looks to have a winning effort. Summer Hayes looks to have enough to have a winning effort. So I agree with you there in buying race number 6. Even Silver Cross has shown some gate speed as well. So Sark can be quick out of the gate as well. So I agree with you in race number 6. That is a good all button. But then that leads to a single in race number 7, which I think is a single in many tickets. I think that's a free square in Nuclear Arsenal. But I'm going to try to beat Nuclear Arsenal race number 7 with the horse to the outside for Jose Flores and Test Pilot.
Test Pilot, who did win the maiden and then won a trial. And then in the next futurity trial, he was fractious. The rail was not an ideal draw, broke slow. And ended up missing by a length. Now, getting off the road is a big-time positive for Test Pilot. So I do agree that is the main threat to Nuclear Arsenal.
And I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that if Test Pilot was drawn anywhere else but the outside, I'd just go to Nuclear Arsenal. The only reason I'm trying to beat is because Test Pilot is drawn to the outside.
The Cox Ranch California Original Disc Challenge will be race number 8, that 400-yard event. George Duarte is looking for coverage there. He's going 5 deep in the finale. It is a very good competitive stakes event to end the program. I'm just going to double up. I like VGK Siegfried Follies the 5 and AJ Flawless the 7, who was a 2-1 morning night favorite, who just finished third behind Bold and Beautiful, who won last night's featured event.
And I would not be surprised to see a blanket finish between 5 of these fillies and mares in that finale. I think it seems like that kind of race. It's a good way to close out the card, good way to close out the pick 6, as well as a late pick 4. And that place pick all started off with a bit of an upset, so don't be surprised if that place pick all comes down to this last leg with a solid payout. So I love the stakes race tonight. I think it's going to be a tough race, and I like that AJ Flawless and CM Just a Blue Monday are drawn together, because CM Just a Blue Monday is my selection to upset the favorite.
Just tag along with the favorite and try to keep up, right?
That's it, and hope that big finish comes into play on CM Just a Blue Monday.
Yeah, and the more I looked at the sequence, it goes through Nuclear Arsenal. If you can honestly beat Nuclear Arsenal, then that's the immediate separation there. Immediate.
I agree. That's going to be a single in, I'm going to say 90% of these pick 4 tickets and 75% of the pick 6 tickets. So yeah, if you can get away from Nuclear Arsenal race number 7 and you find a way to beat that horse, you'll get rewarded.
Betting still favoritism towards the Wild King, which is still a little bit surprising. But By the way, the mid card doubles that are in here, are they telling us anything about this win pool? Like, are we seeing maybe a little bit of difference in favoritism in the doubles?
No, just the way you're seeing it. It's $3 and change to the 5 Wild King. The second choice is the 3, 550 to the 3, and 580 to the 4. So just the way you're seeing it, that's the way the mid card doubles are playing, as well as the pick threes. The only difference in the pick three, the second favorite in the pick three is going to be the 4 Bail Me Out Patty,
Yeah, okay.
not the 3 Tony's Fever. But favoritism is pretty much back and forth.
If you were to tell me that Bail Me Out Patty was going to be 9-2 in race 5, I would have not believed you.
I think that's the win bet there on Bail Me Out Patty. If you believe that Bail Me Out Patty can get out to that front end and hold that lead, you're going to get 4.5 to 1, so to say, on this runner. The race is going to be just like the first 4 races. If you can get out to the front end, you might be able to hold on, and that's what's been happening tonight. So, no need to think about it for these riders. Go.
You know, Tony's Fever, the 3, at one point in time was showing a little bit better early type of speed. And then there was a couple of starts where he was dropping back a little bit farther. He's been inconsistent, but he tends to run up his effort. Like, you kind of know what he is up to this point in time. Last time out, he was just clearly second best. The winner romped. He himself finished 7 lengths clear of third. I feel if you backed him at 30 cents on the dollar last time out, you got to come back and back him once more, and because you're getting a much better price of 5 to 2.
Most experienced runner in the race, the most successful runner in this race is the 3 Tony's Fever. Back-to-back second place finishes, was the betting favorite last out, but that last out race had a couple scratches, dropped to a field of 3, and there was only one horse with speed, and it just romped. So I would draw a line through that effort. I think Tony's Fever is going to run better here tonight, and if you backed him that night, it's automatic. It's a must that you got to back him here at 5 to 2 in this
Yeah,
spot.
it's just the numbers fit, and I think if you got that price last time out and you're looking for redemption, this is a spot to come back to it. The one horse I truly didn't know what to do with in this spot was Rusty Boy, because if you looked at last race over the daytime, eased, you draw a line to our race. His effort 2 back doesn't look too bad, but I'm not so sure if he's going to be breaking as good to keep up with the local run, like with the recent local form of the others. So that's the only horse I was indecisive about, Rusty Boy the 6.
And I think it's hard to figure what Rusty Boy exactly wants to do. They've tried him short, they've tried him long. He kind of just seems at one pace. So I think they're still figuring out what Rusty Boy wants to do. And you see him there washing out a bit. He's a bit warm. You see that shoulder shine. You see the tail kind of swishing around. I don't know if Rusty Boy knows exactly what he wants to do yet. This is career start number 7. So they're still trying to figure him out. Don't know where to place him. This is the bottom level, though. Now you've dropped them to the bottom level. You got to figure out what exactly this horse is. This is the one spot where he's going to show it.
You got 2 runners that ran only once and broke slowly. That's the 1 and the 7. Comparing those two, I'm not in love with the post of the 1 who drew the 1 hole on debut. I think Clipper R has an opportunity to improve, but still, it's too big of a long shot. Not really for me. Not really anything for me to grab onto to kind of give an opportunity for that one in the exotic. So I would pass and just watch a race.
And I will tell you that the first time Lasix on the 7, it doesn't show in the program, but it is first time Lasix on the 7. So if you're one of the believers in first time Lasix users, you get it on the 7, making the second career start, Clipper R.
They're at the gate. Pick 4 pool about to cross the $100,000 mark. Let's go out to Mike Order for the call.
Thanks, fellas. Bail Me Out Patty's been riderless behind the gate for a while. The loading process commencing, and Bail Me Out Patty's the first to go into line, and did so minus Henry Lopez. Dancing with Sarka comes up to gate 1, Wild King being positioned. Pick 4 pool, topping 100 grand. Here comes Tony's Fever. Now Rusty Boy, pick 4 pool, jumping towards $135,000. Clipper R takes the outside stall. Bucky's Boy will be the last in. Even money number 5, Wild King. 2 to 1, number 3, Tony's Fever. Ready for action. Racing. And Wild King just about wins the start. Bail Me Out Paddy might have hesitated slightly, but is rushing forward to engage for the lead. It's Bail Me Out Paddy matching strides with Wild King onto the main track. Clipper R is running third, followed by Bucky's Boy on the inside of Rusty Boy. Tony's Fever second last, 7 lengths off the speed, then Dancing with Circa. It's Bail Me Out Paddy off the 18-month hiatus, leading narrowly from Wild King with a quarter mile to go. Wild King on the outside, regaining parity. This pair dueling around the bend, 5 lengths in front of Bucky's Boy, who gets through to a clear third. Tony's Fever on the inside, fourth. Homeward Bound and Wild King pulls clear of Bail Me Out Paddy, followed by Bucky's Boy. Tony's Fever is next. Wild King spurting away. Wild King will take it well, 2.5 lengths over Bucky's Boy, Tony's Fever, and Bail Me Out Paddy fourth. Number 5, Wild King, is the unofficial winner in 52.88 seconds, defeating number 2, Bucky's Boy, with 3, Tony's Fever, getting up on the inside for third, and number 4, Bail Me Out Paddy, tiring late and ending up fourth. The result is official. Placings officially 5, 2, 3, 4. Wild King is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by King of Jazz from the Arch mare Wild and Sly, bred in California and raced by BG Stables, trained by Angela Aquino, ridden by Cesar Ortega. $1 exacta, $14.10. $1 trifecta, $27. 10-cent superfecta, $6.90. The $1 mid-card double pays $3.70. And there are pick 3 payouts, beginning with the dead heat in race 3. Pick 3 beginning with number 6, $6.20. And the pick 3 beginning with number 8, $3.50. The upcoming 6th race opens the final pick 3 opportunity on the program. Scratch number 3, Roborando. Post time is 9:14.
Someone was going to get their maiden diploma here in race number 5, and it went to Wild King. Pretty good duel down the backstreet between Bail Me Out Patty and Wild King, but at the top of the stretch, Wild King just had a little bit more left in the tank.
Nice ride by Cesar Ortega. Always an advantage if you're on the outside. Wild King was on the outside of Bail Me Out Patty. Bail Me Out Patty showed that speed that we thought.
Yep.
Just was not enough to hold off Wild King down the backside. And after that, Bail Me Out Patty just wanted no part.
Let's go back and take a look at the replay there, race number 5, which did begin the late pick 4. And from the get-go, we kind of expected Wild King to be in the mix. We're wondering, what was the 4 Bail Me Out Patty we're going to do with the class shot? We expected it to be in the mix. And Henry Lopez was able to get this gelding into the lead, but Wild King was never letting that one open up.
Exactly. You see, Bail Me Out Patty gets that head in front, and at this point, Cesar Ortega, he already knows, right? You can't get this horse to lose interest, so he keeps on shoving, keeps on sending. By the time they hit the turn, you're going to see Cesar Ortega overtake Bail Me Out Patty, and now has to hold off the late charge. Right at this point, you get that head in front. Bail Me Out Patty is done, thrown in the towel, wants no part, and you're 3 lengths in front of the 3rd place horse. Now you just got to get to the other end, and that's exactly what Cesar Ortega and Wild King do. Hit the top of the lane, swap leads. Big run by Bucky's Boy at a price to finish 2nd. Gonna chase there, but not catching Wild King.
No, Bucky's Boy probably won't be a maiden much longer with, an improvement off of that 2nd place finish next time out.
And that was a big effort. 4th career start, 3rd off of a layoff, 2nd time here at the 1,000-yard distance. Big improvement by Bucky's Boy. But as we pick up the head on here, you're going to see Bail Me Out Patty, the gray with the blaze in front. Wild King never easing on that gas. Make sure that stays close enough to overtake the lead in the middle of the turn.
And give credit to Wild King, because it's not like he was a big-time class dropper. He already had raced at this level. He was just 2nd best. He needed to fire right back to what he did last time out to be in the mix. So he maintained that consistent form that we saw last time out back on July 19th. And being on the outside, like you mentioned, just gave Cesar Ortega the option to just lean in a little bit and make it intimidating for the leader.
It gives you an advantage. Always easier to run to horses on your left. And you see going into the turn, Cesar Ortega with some right-hand encouragement. Make sure Wild King lays on Bail Me Out Patty and runs on by. Gonna be able to get the victory by about 2 lengths in the end.
5, 2, 3, 4, the order of finish. As 360 on the win end for Wild King. Congrats to BG Stables, Angie Aquino, and Cesar Ortega. We're 13 minutes away to race number 6, the final pick 3 opportunity of the card. We'll come back and talk about that sequence in just a bit.
Out they come for race number 6. Number 1, Silver Cross, is owned by Rosamond Barclay, trained by Jorge Bautista, ridden by Cristobal Herrera. Number 2, Winning Lover, is owned by Stuart Sugimoto, prepared by Van Belvoir and ridden by Edgar Payeras. Scratch 3, Roborando. 4, Sark, is the second entrant, owned by Rosamond Barclay. This horse is trained by Gloria Haley. The rider is Francisco Orduña Rojas. Number 5, Toulouse de Track, is raced by Silvia Soto, conditioned by Jorge Farias. Salvador Vargas is in the irons. 6, Summer Haze, represents William Hedrick. Sheldon Paldanius applies the polish. Francisco Monroy does the steering. This is a 1,000-yard condition claiming event for 3-year-olds and up, opening the final $1 pick 3 on the program. You have 8 minutes in which to invest.
Five minutes to go here for race number 6, final pick 3 opportunity on the program. We're going to 1,000 yards, conditional claiming tag of 12.5. With a field of 5 to the scratch of the 3. And right now, Winning Lover is your current 4-5 favorite, trying to win 2 in a row.
Bet like a 2-horse race because the outside horse, Summer Haze, also taking money 6-5. And then everything else just jumps up. You got the 5 to lose the track, 6-1, and then double digits to the 1 and the 4. I think it's a 2-horse race. Which one did you land on? I landed on Summer Haze on the outside.
Yeah, I ranked this race actually at 6-1-5 in that order. So Summer Haze, the top pick here. Winning Lover did add the blinkers for the first time last time out, and that seemed to get him over the hump because he was in the mix, running consistently. He got a little bit more focused. The clocking was good, but I'm not so sure I would take this one at even money. So Summer Haze, I think the post is ideal based on the flow of the race and what I expect. So Summer Haze would be the top pick here for me.
That's my top selection as well, but the horse just to the inside of Summer Haze to lose the track, this horse intrigues me. Was claimed 2 back by Jorge Farias and Silvio Soto And then last time out just didn't show any speed. But look at the races prior to that, Jose. Santa Anita, 22-1 opening quarter, you're a half length in front. 21-3 opening quarter, you open up 3.5 lengths and just missing finishing second. So this horse has the speed out of the gate. The question I have is he going to show it against this field tonight? Because if he does, he's going to be tough, and you're getting 5-1 on the 5 to lose the track.
Is it as simple? Is this race as simple as bet who you think is going to grab the lead or no?
No, I don't think it's as simple as that. I think if you like a horse, I wouldn't talk you off of it. Any of these 5 runners, if you like them, I wouldn't talk you off of it. I just think to make money, you got to stick to your guns and stick to the horse that you like. Whether it's a late pick 3, whether it's an exacta, trifecta, whatever you're betting, stick to the horse you like, put that horse on top, key that horse, and add what you would underneath.
Because if I suspect Summer Hayes will likely not be far off the pace, I do think, though, there's going to be significant speed from the 5. And if that ends up being the case, then I think it could make it uncomfortable for both the 1 and the 2 to just work out an ideal trouble-free type of trip. Because if the 5 shows the speed that I think he is, then likely he's either going to be in the mix, pressuring, or trying to cross over.
And that's what Francisco Monroy on the 6 Summer Hayes is hoping for. Because if the 5 to lose the track shows that speed, if you're on the outside, you're pushing down with them. You show that speed, you make sure that you're with them and you're pushing them over to take the path of the 2 rail runners, Silver Cross and Winning Lover. So if that's the case, Francisco Monroy is going to be sitting good outside of to lose the track, pushing him over to make sure that he takes the path of the 2 runners.
I don't know if I completely saw this race like the betting board has seen it, but the fact that the 2 is 3-5 is kind of surprising to me, because I didn't think anybody was going to be that favored in a spot like this.
I didn't think anybody would take this much money as the 2 is taking Winning Lover, looking for back-to-back victories. And at this 1,000-yard distance, this is where this horse's 2 career victories come. Back in July of 24, and then last time out on July 11th. This horse has not finished worse than second in 4 efforts at this 1,000-yard oval, 2 victories and 2 second-place finishes. So the success is there. I still didn't expect this much money because I think it is a highly competitive race just on the simple fact that we don't know who's going to be on the front end.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as Winning Lover, because Winning Lover came from off the pace last time. So if Winning Lover doesn't make the lead, I think it's wide open to who does make the lead.
Yeah, Silver Cross is second in my rankings, the 1. And it's the fact that he's been breaking first, second, or third in the last 6 or 7 starts. And he's showing a little bit of gate speed and being in the mix. The win 3 back was solid. The clocking was 54-16. But if nobody really wants to show speed out of the gate, I thought Silver Cross wasn't an impossible horse to find himself in the mix.
I agree with you, and you're already drawn to the inside, so you got to go keep that shortest way around there. And look, after that victory, you got to give this horse legit excuses, right? You tried the Summer Stakes, which was ultra difficult.
Yes.
And then you jumped up to $20,000 claimers, which again, ultra difficult, as well as going further at 5.5. So don't overlook Silver Cross, because if Silver Cross can make the lead, he might just be getting chased all the way to the wire.
Final pick 3 begins right here, 1,000 yards. Conditional claiming tag of 12.5. They're approaching the gate. And we'll go up to Mike Warner for the load and the call.
Thank you, gentlemen. Silver Cross filing across behind the gate. As the loading process gets underway, Silver Cross, one of 2 greys in the 5-horse field, has come up to the inside stall, joined by Winning Lover. Even money for Winning Lover. Next in is Toulouse Track, the other grey, and the only mare in the field. Summer Hayes to the outside post is 8-5 second elect, and Sark will come forward to the middle gate as the 13-1 longest shot in the field. Ready to go, racing. Silver Cross is flashing plenty of speed. Summer Hayes away in good order. And Sark is close handy, followed by Winning Lover, and last is Toulouse to Track. 5 lengths covering the 5 candidates. Summer Haze challenging Silver Cross for the lead, and they kick 2 lengths clear of Sark. And then Winning Lover fourth on the inside of Toulouse to Track, who's beginning to edge forward in the 3 path. Winning Lover's actually back to last, suddenly a couple of lengths behind the second last horse. 5 from the front. Summer Haze with 3/16 to go. Shading Silver Cross, followed by Sark. Winning Lover behind them on the inside, and Toulouse to Track wide. Summer Haze heads for home on a 1-length lead from Silver Cross, then Sark, and Winning Lover diving between horses is absolutely flying through. Summer Haze in a photo with Winning Lover. Looked like Summer Haze might have struggled in, but Winning Lover was coming with gargantuan strides on the inside. Not much between them in the 6th on the card. Photo finish between the top 2 in the wagering. Summer Haze heading for home with a 1-length advantage. Winning Lover just seemed to lose touch with them with about a quarter mile to go. Coming around the first portion of the turn, he dropped back 2 or 2.5 lengths behind the second last horse, but by golly, he's put in the big strides late, splitting horses at the 16th and diving up on the inside of Summer Haze, with Sark as the longest shot in the field, running a really good race, to be beaten only about 3/4 of a length in third. The time is 53.40. Six first, Summer Haze has held on to win from number 2 Winning Lover, with 4 Sark finishing third and number 1 Silver Cross fourth. The result is official. Placings officially 6-2-4-1. $1 exacta, $4.90. $1 trifecta, $20.10. 10-cent superfecta, $3.56. The $1 pick 3, $9.20. Summer Haze, a model of consistency. 3 wins, 3 seconds and a third from 7 career starts. A career that began belatedly, deep into his 4-year-old season. He's owned by William Hedrick, who co-bred Summer Haze with Judy Hedrick. Sheldon Paldanius trains this 5-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Vronsky from the Siberian Summer Mare Summer Swimmer. Francisco Monroy, the winning rider. That was Monroy's first sit on Summer Haze. Post time for the 7th, 9:38. Scratch 4, Val Bambi from the first half of the $1 late double. No show wagering. So we're looking at win, place, exacta, quinella, trifecta, and double.
Race number 6 just went official, and it was a pretty good duel. We expected a good trip for Summer Hayes on the outside post, and I think the post was the key to getting the victory tonight.
Yeah, always advantageous to be on the outside when you have speed. Summer Hayes and Francisco Monroy able to make the lead, and winning Lover, as you see Sheldon Gilman, thumbs up,
Yep.
Sheldon getting the victory. Winning Lover with big strides late, just can't get to Summer Hayes.
Let's go back and take a look at the replay here of that 1,000-yard event in race number 6. There was a few runners vying for the lead, but ultimately Summer Hayes there from the outside post. We'll take a look at how the race shaped up. By the way, as a little fun game, keep your eye on the Coyote racing with the horses on the back down the front stretch. But the break here was ideal for Summer Hayes. Clean break on the outside post. We see a little bit of speed from Silver Cross there on the rail, but ultimately Francisco Monroy had a little bit of a target to chase.
Yeah, and when you're on the outside, it's always easier. We spoke of Silver Cross's gate speed, showed it there, but can never get clear, can never get loose because Summer Hayes was right there early. At this point, he's a neck in front, able to put pressure on that inside runner. And you see, last of the pack is going to be winning Lover as the first 4 are getting away. Summer Hayes is able to open up a half, puts away the rail runner in Silver Cross, and now here come the chasers, and the big chase is coming from Winning Lover from the back of the pack.
Yeah, Winning Lover has to be able to pick a spot here. Ends up trying to split him here. Summer Hayes opens up, and Winning Lover is able to duck to the inside and narrowly misses by a nose. So a good win by Summer Hayes and a good leg kick by Winning Lover, but had to settle for second tonight.
And that's a nice paying exacta. The two favorites close to 4-1, 490 on that dollar exacta.
Yeah, so Summer Hayes getting the win there. The final price, 520 on the win in there. From the head-on view, a little bit of a slow break from the 5, but at that point it was clear selling the rest of the way for the leaders.
Sure was a nice trifecta as well, as that trifecta is going to come back over $20 at 624 trifecta. And you pick them up here, you see Silver Cross is on the inside, but Summer Hayes is always laying on this runner, always a neck in front, always putting pressure, and here around the turn going to be able to get a bit of clearance and have enough left for the finish in that final eighth of a mile and hold off the 2 Winning Lover.
Congrats to winning owner breeder William Hedrick, Sheldon Paldanius, Francisco Monroy, the winning connections here. Summer Hayes winning race number 6. We'll take a break, come back there, analyze race number 7, but also we're going to check in and catch up with trainer Mark Jungers about one of his contenders for tonight, and also catch up with some of the other runners in the barn. So stay tuned. We'll catch up with Mark Jungers shortly.
Great pickup, fellas, of the Coyote giving chase along the infield in the stretch run there of race number 6. Looking ahead to the stakes calendar for next weekend at Los Alamitos, the John Deere California Juvenile is scheduled for this coming Saturday the 8th, and then the Florentine Stakes is set down for decision next Sunday for the fillies and mares.
We're here with Mark Jungers. Before we talk about your filly in the big one, let's catch up with the barn. Lethal Cowboy 123. I heard he worked this morning. How you look?
He looked really good. We worked in turning work 220, galloped out strong, and went down in 12-2 and just kind of did it on his own.
So obviously getting prepped up for the next big event. What's the workload going to be from now into the big race?
We're going after Go Man Go. We'll just he'll come pull up good. Looks like so far, and keep him happy. That's our goal. Just keep him.
It's
happy.
he seems to love being out here in California.
He loves California, and he trains out here unbelievably. So, and he and Edwin just they're a pretty well good match. So they all had fun this morning.
Don't change the recipe if it's working. Let's go back to tonight's race, number 8, the Cox Ranch California Regional District Challenge. Got a field of 9. You got AJ Flawless, post number 7, the slight 2-1 favorite on the morning line. Good third place finish last time out in the Abigail Coa.
Yeah, she ran strong. I mean, she ran well with two of the best fillies and mares in the country, I think. Run second in the second out, and the last out from third. With, then bowled.
You there have a little bit of gauge. Best of luck. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving on to the track for the 7th, our got of run number 1 is one of a pair trained by Jose Flores. This colt is owned by Bradley and Robin Hart. Irving Lara has the mount. Number 2, Nuclear Arsenal, races for Dale Winterton. He's trained by Paul Jones and has the services of Eduardo Nicasio. Number 3, Great Minds, is owned jointly by trainer Mike Castleman and Robert Stratton Jr. Justine Klaber is aboard. Number 4, Val Bambi is not participating. And number 5, Test Pilot, is trained by Flores for Saul Acosta and Juan Moya. Ricardo Ramirez is astride. 350 yards is the distance of this quarter horse allowance for 2-year-olds, opening the $1 late double. There is no show wagering on race 7.
There's 2 races left. You know what time it is. Late daily double time here. 350 yards for the quarter horses in this event. Scratch the 4, leave us with a field of 4. We got the third place finisher of the Grade 1 Edberg Million Futurity Nuclear Arsenal right now in gate number 2.
And actually, 4 to 5 is higher than I expected. I think in the next 5 minutes, you're going to see more money coming in for Nuclear Arsenal. I think you're lucky to get 2 to 5 on this horse. It's a compact field of 4. But I'm going to go to the outside runner, the second choice.
Okay.
And that is Test Pilot for Jose Flores. This horse has 4 career starts. 2 of them are victories, 2 of them out of the money, but trouble in all 4 of those efforts, and now it gets the benefit of the outside draw. So that's where I'm taking a bit of a stand here to try to beat this 4 to 5 favorite.
And the outside draw has to be where you get aggressive. If you break well, you gotta, do the old Ulysses move where you lug into the inside and just make it a little bit intimidating. See if you can take some of that clear path away.
And with that said, you also got to try to time it, right? Because it's a compact field of 4. You're going to be the last to load. Try to time it. Try to catch a flyer out of there and see if you can get out in good order. And watching this horse warm up in post looks great. And I couldn't separate any of these 4 runners. They all came out in good order. They all are warming up well. They all look good. All lightly raced. Only 4 starts for the 1, 2, and 5, with only 2 starts for the Mike Castleman runner, Great Minds, who broke the maiden on debut and had a solid 3rd place finish last time out.
So let's go through the what ifs. How does Nuclear Arsenal lose this race? Is it as simple as just not hesitating at the break, not giving this one a fair shot out of the break?
Yeah, if this horse doesn't get out of the gate in good order and gets his path taken, you're going to lose this race. Because in a compact field of 4, even if you're not the sharpest out of there, you still should have enough room and enough time to make up the ground because you're going 350 yards. But Nuclear Arsenal had the rail draw in the Edberg Million and got out of there in good order and missed to finish 3rd by a half length. So I think Nuclear Arsenal can lose it at the gate, but it's going to be tough because the 350 yards will make up for a slow start.
And you race against the mama. We know that mama very well, Thermonuclear Energy. They got better once they went 400, 440. They truly wanted to go 550.
With experience and distance, they got better, and that's what you're seeing here. 5th career start, 3rd time at 350 yards. Nuclear Arsenal wants every bit of 350, wants 400, and eventually the classic 440-yard quarter horse distance.
And that's why I was so impressed with the debut win, because we need these babies get better with distance and experience, and they don't usually show gate speed. When this one showed gate speed out of the get-go, you said, all right, this one's going to be an immediate threat right from the beginning of the career.
But you see that debut was in post position 5 of 6. Since then, drew the rail, ducked in at the start, finished 4th. 3 of 9 in the trial, was able to win, but had a troubled start. In the Edberg Million Futurity, drew the rail, got out in decent order, but did take a bump. So once again, it's a compact field of 4, but this horse has to continue that progression in the starts and get out in good order.
Fellas, do you have any thoughts about the riding engagements for the Jose Flores pair? Irving Lara on number 1, Ricardo Ramirez on number 5, Test Pilot. Lara has been aboard each of the 4 starts for Test Pilot, and 2 of the 4 for the rail horse. Ramirez has ridden the rail horse a couple of times, but he ends up on Test Pilot. What do you make of that?
That is something that I was looking at, Michael, and I thought, you know what? What better to ask than a rider that is sitting to my left? Do we follow the rider here, or do we follow the horse?
I think it's a simple fact that Irving Lara won the last race for RR Got a Run, so probably opted to go with that runner instead of Test Pilot. I think ultimately I see Test Pilot as a better horse and got the luck of a better draw. But Irving Lara didn't know that going into it. And numbers-wise, speed figure of 74 for RR Got a Run last time. I think that's what Irving Lara looked at and decided to opt to this rail runner.
I think it's a case of choosing your horse before the draw, and unfortunately the one through the rail, right?
I agree, yes.
Yes. It's late daily double time. I'll go 2-5. 2-5 for my late double. I like the 5 VGK Siegfried Follies. Who do you like in the finale?
I like the 6 in the finale. I like CM Just a Blue Monday, and I'm going to take a stand here. I'll go 5-6 in that double to close out tonight's card.
Michael, we'll send it up to you.
Okay, fellas, they're about to move into line. RR Got a Run is approaching the inside stall. Just takes another turn behind gate 1 and moves in now. Nuclear Arsenal taking up residence in gate 2. Great Minds is the only one-time winner in the field. He's racing above his conditions in this non-winners of 3 allowance. Great Minds about to come up to post position 3. A little reluctant. Backing away, in fact. Now Great Minds moves in, and Test Pilot will complete the line. 3 to 5, number 2, Nuclear Arsenal. 2 to 1, number 5, Test Pilot. Ready to go. Nuclear Arsenal moving the head about. In fact, a couple of them are edgy. Racing! Test Pilot comes away very well today. RR got a run on the inside. Nuclear Arsenal is coming strongly between this pair. It's Nuclear Arsenal challenging Test Pilot. Test Pilot taken on by Nuclear Arsenal. And a pair of very talented youngsters hit the wire in a very close photo. Test Pilot outside of Nuclear Arsenal. Little between them. 9.58 is a very smart final split for the last 220 yards. And each of these horses, no doubt, will go on to bigger and better things. It's a photo to split them. Number 5 is first. Test Pilot number 5 has edged number 2 Nuclear Arsenal, with 1 RR got a run finishing third, and number 3 Great Minds completing the order of finish. The time 17.80. 17.80 seconds with a 9.58 closing split. The result is official. Placings officially 5-2-1-3. Test Pilot gets the victory. 3 wins from 5 career starts for this sorrel gelding by Golden Boy from the Foose mare Girls Can Fly. Bred in California by Ed Allred. Test Pilot is owned by Saul Acosta and Juan Moya. Jose Flores, the winning trainer. Ricardo Ramirez, the victorious jockey. The $1 exacta, $4.70. $1 quinella, $2.20. And the $1 trifecta, $10.80. On to race 8, the featured Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge. Clear of changes and scheduled for 10:02. Post time in 18 minutes at 10:02.
Well, it was only a four-horse field, but it turned out to be an intriguing duel to the wire here for that race number 7. Test Pilot broke well from the outside post. Nuclear Arsenal, we said, what could happen for this one to lose the race? And it was going to be the break.
We said he couldn't win it at the gate, but he sure could lose it. And it looked like he spotted him about 3/4 of a length, and Test Pilot got out in good order. Nuclear Arsenal was chasing. The 350-yard distance allows for that.
Yes.
Not the best of breaks, was chasing, but could just not catch up to Test Pilot.
Let's go back and take a look of that start there, race number 7. They were going 350 yards in that allowance. And take a look at Test Pilot from the outside, breaks cleanly. Nuclear Arsenal hesitated, broke about 3/4 of a length, maybe more, slow, and at that point was playing catch-up.
And you see at this point right here, is not really striding out properly. You see a bit of a crossfire there. That means on the left lead behind, on the right lead in front, levels off, but it was just not enough to catch a Test Pilot who got out of the gate in good order.
Final eighth, 9.58, racehorse time.
Racehorse time indeed, and you see the logos next to these horses' names. You're going to see them come back in the Golden State Million Futurity later on the year, as well as the 2 million. So they will see each other once again, but on a night like tonight, Test Pilot gets the best of Nuclear Arsenal.
Yeah, and this one was closing ground late, but the distance was not enough. Let's take a look and see. We have a drone look, because that would tell us a little bit more about what the margin was that this one lost out of the gate. It seemed like it was 3/4, and it was actually more like half a length.
Yeah, not as much as the pan shot showed. So it just was an awkward start for Nuclear Arsenal. Couldn't really get underneath himself until about halfway through the race. And once he levels off and comes at Test Pilot, credit to Test Pilot though, because Nuclear Arsenal runs to him. Test Pilot responded.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was that far in front. No, he responded to the competition. Nice ride by Ricardo Ramirez for Jose Flores, Saul Acosta, and Juan Moya, the winning owners.
This one by Golden Boy out of Girls Can Fly, bred by Dr. Ed Allred, a graduate of the Los Alamitos Equine Sub for $31,000. Congrats, Saul Acosta, Juan Moya, Jose Flores, and Ricardo Ramirez, winners with Test Pilot in race number 7. Coming up, 15 minutes to post time for race number 8. That will be the running of the Cox Ranch California Original Distaff Challenge, purse of over $31,000. They'll be going 400 yards, and right now opening up as a 2-1 favorite is AJ Flawless. CM Just a Blue Monday also taking money at 2-1. That's coming up 15 minutes to post time.
Tonight's feature race is the Cox Ranch California Regional Distaff Challenge for fillies and mares at 400 yards. Number 1 is Butter Off Friends, one of a pair owned by David Hinkins and trained by Adan Farias. The rider is Ricardo Ramirez. Number 2, Ohana Spirit, races for Gentry Farms. She's trained by Juan Aleman, ridden by Martin Arriaga. Number 3, CM Cowgirls Are Cool, is one of a pair owned by Randy Dickerson and trained by Luke Lindsay. Henry Lopez is the rider. Number 4, Jesse's Flyin' Cowgirl, is owned by Jose Gonzalez, trained by Jesus Nunez, ridden by Jesus Ayala. 5, VGK Ziegfeld Follies is the second entrant for Hinkins and Farias. The rider is Eduardo Nicasio. Number 6, CM Jessa Blue Monday is the second entrant for Dickerson and Lindsay and is a half-sister to the stablemate. CM Jessa Blue Monday, number 6, has Ruben Lozano for company. Number 7 is AJ Flawless, raced by Larry and Bobby Rice, conditioned by Mark Youngers, partnered by Edwin Escobedo. 8, Racy Favorite, is trained by Jose Flores for Johnny Trotter. Irving Lara is the rider. Number 9, Naive, competes for Cade Burns. Mike Castleman trains and Justine Kleber rides. 7 minutes to post.
Six minutes away to the running of the Cox Ranch, California Original This Stuff Challenge here as we bring it back to this. Here's the hardware. Beautiful hardware like we had last night. And also,
The buckle.
trainer and jockey to get some nice hardware. Look at these buckles. These are
nice.
Nice.
Same as last night.
Did
the
you ever
winner-
win one, by the way?
I didn't. This is the one thing I wanted to win. I didn't. I won graded stakes, but none of them came with buckles. I always wanted a buckle. Not because of the cowboy look, but because I used to love wrestling. You always want to win the buckle.
Oh,
That's what I
yes.
went about.
Yes.
But yeah, these are nice. These will go to the winning trainer and jockey. And then there's the trophy for the winning owner. Even money on AJ Flawless. But I feel like this race is going to have a blanket finish. I think you're going to get about 4 or 5 of these mares' noses on the wire.
There's no room for error at the break for a lot of these mares. There's no room for error because there's very good numbers in a lot of these mares that even if they get an opportunity to have a clear path to run, it will elevate their game tonight, without a doubt. I am surprised at some of the odds we're getting with some of these fillies and mares.
I agree with you. I'm surprised your selection, VGK Ziegfeld Folly, 6-1 morning line,
Yeah.
14-1 on the board. Butter Off Friends, another 5-1 morning line, 15-1 on the board. With that said, I'm also surprised that AJ Flawless is even money.
Yeah,
Deserves favoritism. I didn't think anybody deserved to be even money, though.
it's that kind of scenario where the recent form holds a lot of weight, and we kind of said it last night, right? The recent form of Bold and Beautiful kind of pushed her over the finish line versus Scoop Dynasty was coming in a little bit off of form, a little bit off a layoff, right? Well, in this kind of scenario, there's more than a handful of mares in very good form.
I agree with you. In my selection, CM Just a Blue Monday had a legit excuse last out. Broke through the gate, didn't run the best effort. I give her a complete excuse. I'm going to draw a line through that third place finish and go back to the Los Alamitos Oaks when just missing by a head. It says head. I think it was a nostril.
Yes. Put it this way: if I would have told you that night that you were gonna get her within the next two starts at 4-1, 5-1, you would have said, "Sign me up."
Yes, because I picked her the night of the Los Alamitos Oaks as well. So I'm on Team Man Just a Blue Monday. I'll take the 4-1. I love her draw next to AJ Flawless. This 3-year-old filly wants 400 yards, wants 440 yards. She's going to do her best running late. If she gets out of the gate in good order, watch out under Ruben Lozano because she's going to be rolling to the wire.
The other horse that is taking money that I thought was going to be a little bit sneaky, and it's not, it's Ohana Spirited too. Juan Aleman, Martina Arriaga, she competed in the Charger Bar. She broke slow. Actually, she broke slowly in the last two starts, but she began, she completed the 2025 campaign in pretty good form. She's not the quickest out of the gate, but she has a path to run. She does have a late kick.
And the key to Ohana Spirit is watch her in post. She's awfully calm tonight. She's not washing out. She's walking calmly. She looks good under Martina Arriaga. That's the key for her because she has a tendency to get a bit hot and antsy.
What about the four? Jesse's Flying Cowgirl here for owner Jose Gonzalez, Jesus Nunez. Jesus Ayala here with the mount. This one last competed in the Charger Bar and in the Texas Classic Oaks at Lone Star.
Hasn't been seen since that Charger Bar on January 11th of this year. Does post a couple of drills over this oval, 3 of them to be exact, June 4th, June 23rd, and then a bullet drill on July 11th of 12:20 out of the gate. This is a big ask, not to say that she can't get it done, but this is a big ask off a layoff to go 400 yards against this type of field, these type of fillies and mares.
Does anyone in this field benefit the most because of the distance specifically?
CM Just a Blue Monday, the further they go, the better for her. So I think the 400 yards is ideal for CM Just a Blue Monday. 7 career starts, 2 victories, 3 second-place finishes, 1 third-place finish, only 1 time out of the money, and that was on the debut, going 300 yards, which is just too short for a filly like this.
Was able to talk to Mark Jungers for a brief interview. He was happy to not see Bold and Beautiful in this spot based on what she did last night.
Him and all the
rest
other
of
8 of
yeah.
these runners. Yeah, Bold and Beautiful looked great last night, so I bet they're all happy that she's not in here. But once again, you still got to run your A effort against the field that you have here.
Put it this way, if you were to tell me you like anyone in the spot, I would not be able to talk you off a horse in this spot.
I agree with you. I mean, the only horse that I would talk you off of is probably AJ Flawless because of the even money.
Correct. Yeah,
I think she deserves favoritism.
But I wouldn't
She's gonna
take
be
even
tough.
money.
But even money is hard to take in this spot against this type of field.
Yes. I'm sticking with VGK Secret Fall. He's a 5. That is my top pick. I'm liking the consistent form. Eduardo Nicaso back aboard. He's been aboard for some of the very good results in recent starts for her. I don't mind the draw. I think she's drawn in between a couple of contenders, and if she can see those targets, maybe that'll elevate her game.
I agree. She's another one drawn just inside of CM Just a Blue Monday and AJ Flawless. She should benefit from that. She is drawn to the inside, which is a bit of a disadvantage. But once again, she's a racehorse. We've seen what she can do. We've seen how she kicks it into another gear late. She's going to need to because the filly outside of her has a big late kick, and as is the horse on the screen there, AJ Flawless, your 6-5 favorite.
Give me another price that could be an interesting long shot for the Vertical Exotics.
Butter off friends on the rail. I'm surprised she's 18-1. She won from the rail last time under Henry Lopez. Ricardo Ramirez takes over today, and she actually beat the stablemate, who's your top selection, VGK Sigfield Follies, a 5.
That would be the same long shot I would give you, outside of the stablemate.
And keep an eye out for this outside runner. Justine Kleber, Mike Castleman have had a good couple of weeks together. They get the benefit of the outside draw. You're getting 22-1 on Naive.
Best of luck. We're closing out pick 4. By the way, the pick 6 and pick 4 whoopies are not too bad considering what's happened up to this point.
Not too bad at all considering it's been fairly chalky. The lowest payout in the pick 4 is $100 to AJ Flawless. Lowest payout in the pick 6, $300 as well to AJ Flawless.
That's going to do it for us here on the desk at Los Alamitos. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon of racing. We'll be off to present the connections with the winning trophies, the winning trophy and the winning buckles as well. Mike Corona will send it up to you.
Thanks, Jose and Ulysses. Another great night on the set from you gentlemen. I look forward to seeing you in the winner's circle shortly. They're moving in well for the feature. About half the field locked away. Last few loading, racy favourite to gate 8, and we need Jessie's Fly and Cowgirl to post 4, and Naive to the outside, and they'll be all set. 6 to 5, number 7, AJ Flawless. 3 to 1, number 6, CM Jessa Blue Monday, making her first start against Elders. She's the lone 3-year-old. Racing! CM Jessa Blue Monday stumbled and is well off the pace. AJ Flawless away beautifully, and so is Ohana Spirit, followed by Jessie's Fly and Cowgirl, and Naive down the outside running a race. It's Ohana Spirit, AJ Flawless, racy favourite. Ohana Spirit beats AJ Flawless. Racy favourite was third. Number 2, Ohana Spirit is the unofficial winner, giving Gentry Farms and trainer Juan Alaman the weekend stakes double following Bold and Beautiful's victory last night in the Grade 2. Ohana Spirit, a touch too strong for number 7, AJ Flawless, with number 8, Racy favourite third, and 1, Butter Off Friends, finishing fourth. The time 19.929. 19.929 with a closing split of 9.65. Here comes Ohana Spirit back to the winner's circle. She's a 4-year-old sorrel mare by Tempting Dash from the Trace Dam Heartbeat. Bred and owned by Gentry Farms and trained by Juan Alaman. And ridden to victory by Martin Arriaga. Ohana Spirit is a half-sister to Good Mischief, who won the 7th race last night for Gentry Farms' Juan Alaman and Martin Arriaga. So the Damn Heartbeat has a double this weekend, and for Gentry Farms and Juan Alaman, it's a stakes double, including Bold and Beautiful's success in the 8th race last night. So Gentry Farms and Juan Alaman had the late double yesterday and the stakes winner tonight. Placings officially 2781. The result is official. The $1 late pick 4, $135.70. The $1 place pick all pays $34.30. The $2 pick 6, $603. $603.40 to be precise, and 5 of 6 yields $19.20. That tidies up the details on our Sunday program. We thank you for playing Los Alamitos. We hope you found a few winners across the night, and we look forward to the resumption of live racing this coming Saturday. In the meantime, we wish you safe travels. Hooroo!